Alrighty then. Hello everybody. Welcome to, I believe it's Wednesday, Market Open. I tell you what, I'm ready. I'm pretty hyped. As usual, we've got plenty of stonks available for today's action. Yesterday was pretty wild. Did anyone get involved in some of those crazy stonks? They were very, very dangerous ones. Something about 700% on some of them. Just to read out a few of the tickers yesterday. Had things like SCKT going nuts. I think somebody here mentioned that. SOS. These particular ones, obviously an incredible gamble. You've got to have a get in, get out of jail kind of card. I'm in jail because there's a serious jail if you get stuck in one of those, and it's probably almost 100% loss. Look, that's not my kind of style, as you would know. My style is slow and steady, boring, wins the race, do it the right way. But when you're trading, what you'll actually find, and a lot of people do this, is it's kind of like you have two accounts. So you might have like your trading account where you do things correctly, and then you have your crazy account where maybe you get a little bit wild. And a lot of smart people actually have those. A lot of really rich people tend to have those types of accounts because sometimes it's time to get a little bit wild. Quick shout out to the community here. We've got Sapphire, GS, Johnny Bravo, Dave G, Way High Dude Man. Welcome. Valdo, it looks like Sid's renamed himself. He's obviously been getting a little bit too high on trading weed stocks. GS, Kevin N, My Tommy Jake. Great to have all of you here. Patrick, etc. So market is warming up. What do I mean by warming up? VIX, Volatility Index. Here we are, 26.3 on this particular VIX. Now, there's a lot of different VIXs. Usually you want the volatility index for the S&P 500, but of course it depends on the contract, depends on the mixture of the date calls, all those types of things. But the VIX here, 26.35, probably the story of the day. We go down here, look at this. Look at this percentage. Very nice, 23.81%. People that have been buying off that 20, possibly now looking at some rewards on certain VIXs. I wonder if any of you guys have been doing that. Let me just quickly get up this program so I can see everybody's chats. Excellent. Spot price says I've blown up 3 crazy accounts. Hopefully not your real account there, spot price. Hopefully it's just the crazy accounts. Market coming in. We've got the Dow down a little bit here. The S&P 500 hovering, 39.23, was up during some of the Asian session, then declined. Nasdaq, as we expected, 13,736, also showing some signs of weakness. And the European market leading the way here, down 0.7. Other notables, crudes across the board up. Silver still holding in above the 27. The silver bulls are real, but gold suffering heavily. Is that telling us that we should be even more particular about the stock market right now? US dollar is the key. US dollar starting to really bull up through that. Let's have a look into the technicals now. We'll quickly go, I believe, have a look at US dollar index to get started. Let's bring this up. Dollar index, here we go. All right, 15 minutes. We'll go out to the higher time frames. Let's firstly start with the monthly. We'll talk about what we always do, which is the heavy support that was found. It has been bulling. Nothing much on the monthly for us. We go into the weekly. Okay, starting to see some strength here. Go into the daily. All right, we've got closures coming up here. Today's the fight between the 90, 80, and the 91. This boxed area that was previously the strength, we're back in that zone. Hey, Matthew, good to have you here. Matthew Tainch, always a long-term supporter of the channel. Good to have you here. Vulcano says, obligatory CNN greed index update. That's probably a good one. We should go and have a look at that one. Let's have a look at this guru focus little chart on the right here. Wow, look at the insider buys. It's so low. Insider buys so low right now. That ratio is horrible. But it's been horrible since Feb 1st. So that's a 0.18. Okay, let's have a look here. Greed, fear index. You can see it comes up straight away. What is it today? We're in greed. How did that happen? How did we go from being, it was all good, to now we're looking at a little bit too greedy? We're not in extreme greed though. I would argue we are in extreme greed. I think we're in a bit of an extreme greed kind of market here, guys. But yes, this is the index that I think is actually not bad. It's good because you can come through, read up about how some of these things work. Things like stock price breadth, usually pretty important. Junk bond demand, at the moment, doesn't matter too much. Safe haven demand. stock price strength. You'll notice safe haven demand slightly upticking here, but again, nothing has really been that important when we've looked at crashes in the past. Moving average, CBOE, put call ratios, and then of course fear greed index is slightly on the return. So back up here, VIX beginning to rise. Let's start off with the VIX here. This particular VIX index is 21.6, a little bit different to the other one, but still 0.75%. J Cola, $2. Hey Tom, can you look at PRTY, Party City? Party City. Is that a good stock? I don't see it on my trenders for today. And DPLS. Yep, we'll take a look at that in just a minute, J Cola. I'll just go through some of the early morning entries first, and then we'll go and we'll have a look at that straight away. So VIX bouncing off. Will this be the day? US 500 just to start with here. Little bit of movement. We did go as low as 39.15. We're now back up to 39.29. Let's have a look at the 5 minute. Yes, we're going down to a 5 minute. Siddharth will be happy. No clear kind of zone here for me just yet. We want to be breaking yesterday's low, getting under this 39.20 zone. The market, maybe it breaks and starts to close under. Maybe we have to wait for the first 5 minutes, 30 minutes. Maybe it finds more strength. It's at pretty critical kind of points. Even if we got like a little trend line here in the 5 minute and put it through these highs, there's nothing really going on there because with those trend lines wouldn't. Down here, a trend line. If we pulled these, why don't usually pull trend lines? Because you can draw whatever you want. I don't think that's going to be too much on the 5 minutes. So I wouldn't use those. I think they're crap. So we'll get rid of those ones. But we will be watching this level down here, the 39.20 zone. Closure underneath that will signal the next sell-off zone for today. Definitely one I'm watching. For buy pressure, 39.40, 39.36, probably the 39.40. Any break above this, and suddenly we're going back to 39.50 and starting to step it up. Pablo Duaga says pound yen overbought possible short. Yeah, well, I'm seeing yens coming off a little bit there. I think they're all going to pull back, and then you will have the next move up. Look at Swiss yen as well, another one that's got great structure in it. Okay, so we will look at J Collar's donation, but again, before that, I want to talk about Bitcoin. This is something that I left on the trading view today. Just give me 1 second. This is something I left on the trading view for today, and I was talking about structure. What is this? Guys, what do you see this as? Which technical analyst kind of pattern is this? Let us know. I know there's a little bit of delay on the stream, so we'll let this know, and I'll load up those other ones. What did you see there? PRTY, the Party City. Does anyone know what this one is? It's actually a pretty good setup. What software is this? Justin says this is TradingView. TradingView is always good. Roman Blagan says, hey Tom, great seeing your face. What's up, Roman? Morning all to EZ, morning. Jay Collar says, yes, I got it. I got into Party at the COVID crash and it did really well for me and I might sell it off today. Okay, we'll have a look. So this is an ascending triangle. That's correct, Valdo. Very nice. Basically, we had resistances through here and you'll notice that we have a point where basically the market was unable to close above. Now, the significance of this is not only do we have that, but we've got higher lows coming in here showing buying momentum. When we get buying momentum, what are we doing? We're effectively showing that the market wants to break the zone. Now, there's two ways actually of trading this. A lot of people don't look at the negative side. So the positive side is it goes up and does what this did. But actually, if it comes down here and then breaks low, what it'll do is it'll come back, test that line. And when it tests that line, if it engulfs shooting stars, pin rejections, anything like that off there, the explosion is even more. Because remember, the entire pattern was saving up for higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. When we had the higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, then we break that pattern. What are we doing? Changing sentiment. Something drastic has happened. We had all that structure forming over here, and then all of a sudden the market doesn't like it anymore. It's actually even more aggressive. And that's why over the years, triangles have become one of my favorite patterns, if not my favorite pattern. I love triangles. So significance here, no break above, just wicks. We get the 1 hour close. That signals buying pressure. It's a really nice little day trade there if you want to use leverage and get into that kind of thing. We notice 4 hour has also closed above. There's no question that Bitcoin is breaking and looking now for 52, 53 up to 55. Previous supports all on the 20 moving average, exponential on the 4 hour, and then of course move up, move down. All right, let's have a look at this other stock. That's just my thoughts on Bitcoin. We'll be coming back to that and more soon. So this is Party. This is the Party stock where everything gets started. This has done quite well for you. So if you did buy this back in March, I can see why you've done well. 56 cents, 8.45. That is a total, that's almost a 20 bagger right now. Very nice. Where are we? Okay, I see why you're like, ooh, I don't know about this zone. This is the weekly, which is probably where you want to be when you've held a stock for so long. So there's good news and bad news. Good news is it's actually putting pressure on the zone. You've already held it through a bunch of this zone. The aggression is real on the weekly. It's been very, very fast, quickly now. And it's found where I would say, yes, take profits are certainly going to occur. Previous support, previous resistance, or now resistance. If we go down to the daily, what's the daily telling us? For now, 20 moving average. 20 moving average has consistently held this pretty well. Even when it did get through, it engulfed back. And on this one, it had a strong rejection wick. So with a strong rejection wick, again showing momentum. Now we had a nice daily close yesterday, straight into resistance. I'm feeling like it's one of those ones that possibly could break out. And then you got to go, where's the next level for something like this? Where's the next level? Next level is the 10. So 8.59 to 10, is it worth your risk reward? You've got to have your own trading style. Maybe that style is scaling out. Maybe that and leaving some on the table so you can't really cry either way. That's a trading style I use. The reason why is because if I hold all of it and then it goes bad, I get pissed and then I have a chance of doing the dreaded revenge trade. And you're not going to get no Rolex doing the dreaded revenge trade. So possibly a scale option. Nice one. Good trade there. I don't know why you got in, but when it broke here, you were smooth sailing. That was awesome. DPLS. Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse. Looks like a dark stock for a long time. Okay, so this one is broken. It's a very aggressive run. It's holding decently because it had a nice daily close on it yesterday, percentage-wise. It is very difficult to TA this because it just doesn't have much data. Look, it's testing the resistance. You haven't had a close above this. Expect that 0.05 to be broken if it does get through this area and close. So say we close here at 0.0416 or something. That will show more strength. This is incredibly hard. And when you're trying to TA these zones, all you can really say is previous support's going to become resistance. And when you've got a penny stock like this or whatever the hell this thing is, it's always going to go to round numbers. Every 0.01, kind of like Dogecoin, is going to become important for sure. Good luck on that one. Hi from the Netherlands. Hello, I'm half Dutch, so I don't know how to speak, but I am half. Brandon Tyler says can. Yes, I see that one on the rankings report for today. So I expect these are the ones that we're going to get a lot of questions about. Let's rank these up. If you don't use stock tweets, it's kind of cool just to be able to see what's going on. So trending stocks right now, SOS, can, FT, RIOT, all of those ones. Socket was, of course, the one that was going nuts yesterday. We'll come back to those over time. But I do want to kind of stick to some of the things I'm doing. Johnny Bravo says, revenge trades like dating the ex-girlfriend. Yeah, maybe, Johnny, maybe. Kevin N says, not going to get no Rolex on the revenge trade t-shirt idea. Or maybe I need a revenge trade t-shirt idea. I don't think anyone's going to buy it, though. Maybe it just says, I don't revenge trade. Can we have a look at Tesla? Don't worry, Patrick. We're looking at Tesla. Tesla, incredibly important zone. Did we see the pre-market? Yes, we did. The pre-market is down 1%. And this could trigger the kind of catalyst of selling for Tesla. I mentioned this in today's video. If you've watched it, I really do believe that we have had structure. We've had consideration about Tesla's price. There's been some negative articles coming out for it, and I feel like this is the first time, guys, that we are going to see a structural sell for Tesla in ages. Let's have a look out here. Every single structure, series of higher lows. Structure didn't break below that last low, actually bounced off it. And then, of course, we had the anomaly area. We haven't had a proper structure sell in quite some time. This time, we have a $100 range that's getting pressure on the downward pressure. 4 hour here, rejection wicks, constantly buying. So I see why people are buying here. Don't get me wrong. I totally see the support. But if we close below the support, what's going to happen? It's probably going to trickle a bunch of sell orders. I'm sure there's some puts coming into it, that type of thing. Look to these wicks as any big close below them is going to probably trigger selling pressure. Targets going to be 700, possibly even lower because of structure formation over here on the left, 650 maybe even. But yeah, I think this is an important one today, and we will be looking at it throughout today's session quite a lot. We've got a donation coming in here, $5 from D-Man. Can you check out GTE Grand Tierra Energy? We certainly can. Thank you very much for the donation, D-Man. Appreciate that. Very nice. GTE, the Grand Tierra. One thing we always do, or what do? Top down first. Where did this stock come from? Where is it going to go? Too many people. Siddharth on the 1 minute charts. No, I know he looks at the big ones. I'm a bit mean to you, Siddharth. But I know you've been trading like a bad boy over there with those bad stocks. $1 target reached. Okay, got through, closed. What happens on the stock like this? It's a penny stock of some sort. It's traded upwards of $1 before, $2. Notice its support. We know that these lines, these areas are the most important points. $2, $1, psychologicals. What happened last time? Broke through $1, went down, broke through $2, went down to $1. Did so quite quickly and was pretty aggressive. That's what we call the participation phase. Now, because this looks like it's an energy company, possibly, it says here oil and gas production. This is a bullish time for people to be moving into oil. So this is a value play that could be moving forward a little bit more. We take a look at what's going on. Dollar close. Let's scroll into the smaller time frames. That's a monthly. Let's go weekly. Weekly is looking fine. Again, the dollar. Daily. Okay, daily held up yesterday, 4.85. Not much structure above the dollar yet, but it's kind of holding it still. 20 moving average on the 1 hour, nothing there. It's looking good because I would have expected it to sell off the dollar. There's the 96. It's hovering and coiling. The longer it coils above $1, when the breakout comes, good chance that you get 2 on this one. Possibly could be deep value play as well. Good luck on GTE, the Grand Tierra. Some thoughts on gold, Tom Tadas? Yeah, we'll definitely check that out in just a few moments. Quite a few things. Kevin's talking about the competition. He might be talking about the competition we run in our private Discord. We basically fund 20 grand and then people put in their trades. We trade them. And then at the end of the month, the person with the most successful ones gets the money. It's pretty cool. We're going to grow that account throughout the years. So as the community gets bigger, look, we'll put our money where our mouth is.
I'll take your entire stock.
Timothy Hammond, $1.99. C3AI. Great advice. So just remember, guys, a lot of this is technical. I'm trying to educate you a little bit here on some of the things that I've learned over the years, and hopefully it helps you out.
I'll take your entire stock.
I can't give you specific advice, so that's why I have that risk warning. What I can do is talk about technical levels. So we'll talk about technical levels. This one here, C3AI. Oh, very interesting. Okay, let's go to the weekly. So it's a new IPO. Technology services package software. Cool. Bad weekly close. Very bad weekly close. New IPOs. You guys know my feelings on this. The initial profit cow. Sometimes it has the second run and then possibly weakness. Now, this is a technology service. I'm not exactly sure on its build or how it works. This is a bad candle, and a low here is bad because that's signaling shooting star and back down to these lows. That's just the weekly. Let's go to the daily. Daily, I don't know how this is even a trend line with the lack of data. There we go. Wow, wow, wow. Right on it at this point. Huh. Previous resistance is acting as support. Maybe switch this to a line chart. See the closes. Psychological. Oh, it's really tough because I don't know the company. I do know it's on a trend line. 4 hour. Okay, so my thought process is every time it's come off this trend line, it's been pretty aggressive. You tend to get an engulf or a big move off it. Ideally, what you would see is a candle that takes this out. When that happens, then you can take it long back into resistances. I'd be very careful around this zone, but it's at the right zone. Good luck. This is for C3AI. Give me 1 sec, guys. There we go.
I'll take your entire stock.
Another donation here. J Cola, $2. Thanks, Tom. Love the streams. Very informative. No worries, J Cola. Appreciate the second donation there. Thank you very much. Let's go over to gold now. We do have another donation coming in from D-Man, $5. Can you look at FCX? Free report. McMoran. Copper seems to be rising. Look, copper will rise, in my opinion, for the next 1 to 2 years. Copper's heavily undervalued. It has been for some time, and during rebuilds in economies it tends to rise. We will look at that though. So let's have a look at gold. Let's break down what the hell is going on with gold. So when gold cops it like this, usually the stock market is not far behind. Right now the stock market is trading at 39.30, so really just sitting completely neutral. But gold coming back down, where is the point? Dollar index strengthening, gold just getting flattened, probably because money's going into Bitcoin, other things. I feel like that's happening a lot. Here we're getting down to the 1770. Go down to the daily. Just made a new low today. Buying pressure could come down to the 1765. Why does it stop there? Who knows why it stopped there last time, but the weekly 50 is also in danger. So I'm feeling that this is not looking great at all for gold, and it could be an actual epic kind of sell-off back down, possibly just even into a psychological zone. There is structure around 1740. It's not clear to me where the hell this stops. I do not know. Usually I have a bit of an idea. All I know is that we have a trend line coming through on the weekly. I'm going to pay attention to that in the future. If we get closes above these zones, I'm back into gold for the long. Am I going to short it here? Probably not. Is there a short possibility? On the smaller timeframes, maybe there becomes one once it gets through this zone. Buying here is a little risky, I feel. Tough zone. D-Man with the $5. Let's have a look at FCX now. We will look at silver in just a few moments. Okay, Freeport McMoran. Okay. Get rid of the volume for now. We don't need that. Susboy says, are these Pokemon cards? They're not Pokemon cards, no. They are a card form though. They're a sheet, basically. How's the volume? That volume won't be correct, Kevin, I don't think. 1600, Kevin said, for gold. Andrej, what a troll, comes in. What is this BitConnect coin? It seems very cheap. Should I buy it? That was one of my favorite things about the 2017 run on Bitcoin. BitConnect. I love that so much. That was awesome. Carlos or whatever. So here's FCX. This is sounds like a copper, non-energy minerals. So it looks like they've got a bunch of minerals. Let's have a look at the price in the past. So here's the 2010-11 highs. Here's, of course, before the GFC. This type of peak, it's very far away, and it's a good way of owning copper. You'll notice that it's come through the double bottom. This is a serious monthly double bottom here. Absolute monster double bottom that you probably saw and got hold of. 20's been broken. 30, maybe it hovers here for a little while, getting back into the structure. But longer term, I can see some of the advantages you're looking at. 50 into 60, 60 possible target here. That's 100% from the current price.
I'll take your entire stock.
Very, very nice. Strong trend. Pullbacks back to, it looks like probably a daily 20. Then that really did spook it. I swear this market was meant to dump here. It was meant to fall off. Yeah, 20 moving average has been good. Watch copper. Let's have a look at Dr. Copper. Looking very strong as well. Yeah, there's no pickups yet for that, but it looks good strength-wise. Good luck. Big Connect. Everyone's loving it. Gerald Armstrong, $2.99. Thoughts on DNN? Okay, we'll do this one. Thanks very much for the donations today, guys. Appreciate that. Remember, if you are donating, just let me know if it's not on the US market. If it's not on the US market, I don't know. So I'm always going to go for the US market ticker. $1.63 pre-market here, 9.4. Is this on my list of crazy stocks? No. Just having a look here at the crazy stocks. Not on those ones. Big run up. Let's go to the monthly. Wow. Straight into where previous resistances are. Today, it looks like you're going to get straight. Maybe we'll go $1.75. It's getting into the danger zone. Is there more on it? Yeah, it's possible. But every time it's done this, around this level, it's tended to sell off. It's been known to pump and dump in the past. I don't know what this is. It looks like another minerals one. Probably more of an announcement or a short squeeze or something like that. If it's a short squeeze, you've got to be very careful of these levels if it's a short squeeze. If it's an announcement and there's super bullish fundamentals, I would suggest you look at those things, because next stop could be $1 very easily. It's completely blasted that. That's the monthly there. Let's have a look at the daily. Yeah, completely dominated the dollar. So 175 could be a target, 174, and then $2 on the psychological on this one for DNN. Good luck. Team Rocket. What? I don't understand why he's unhappy. Kevin N, check Himex, Tom. I'd like to hear where you think it's pulling back to. Himex. Okay. What is going on here? So we've got basically a big movement that's come through. This is in electronic technology semiconductors. Popular area to be in right now. Monthly, completely blasted through previous resistances. 16 now, didn't get the 20. Like any of these things, when they're on a rocket ship like this, you've got to be very careful, because it all ends and it's brutal when it does. Be very, very careful of these types of things. Daily, no clear trend. 4 hour. Okay. It's gone hyperactive at the end here. I feel like it's due for a pullback. Sentiment will have to, because there is been structure here, and the 4 hour has been kind of the zone. Look maybe for pullbacks, touching this 20 on the 4 hour, and then hopefully movement back up. Maybe at 20, just underneath $20 as a target if it continues the trend. But if it gets underneath this 20, I'd be careful. Very, very careful. So structure's forming here as the 20 meets with it. Yeah, the semiconductor business has been turning around. Makes sense, Kevin. I mean, look at the growth. But I would expect some consolidation here before potentially the move up to 20. All right, let's go back over to some of the ones that I've been looking at. We've got D-Man. Welcome to the Stonk Squad. Thank you very much, D-Man. Appreciate that. Enjoy the emojis. Here's ETH. Consolidation here. Do we expect another move in ETH? I would say yes. I would expect another move in ETH because it lags Bitcoin by a generalized amount. So as Bitcoin's moving, money's in that, then what will happen is Bitcoin will probably start to move down and you'll see altcoins like ETH move up. Not clear structure here for me. I am looking at the 20 on the daily. Each one of these pullbacks hasn't been severe enough. There's just been too much buying pressure. Interesting zones. ADA looking incredibly bullish.
I'll take your entire stock.
ADA, huge amounts of buying off that 70. This was a great zone, great area. This looks like it might go back and do the return back to $1.20. It's starting to ramp. This is basically like a little flag happening here. And that ramp is just underneath the dollar. So I'm interested in this one. XRP is moving up. This has been a dangerous coin. We talked about this one quite a lot. Yesterday we had our trend line drawn. It looks like it failed this level and continued to find some serious selling. Remember, break of this trend line, break of 55, close above, we start to get sentiment back into XRP. Good luck on that one. All right, few things coming in here. Scott, GeoFritter, I think, $5 Australian. Thank you very much. New viewer, loving the content here. Could we look at Mux or Luck Rush? Assume one of those is Russian. We can check out Mux. Thank you very much for the donation there. Appreciate that. Mux. I'm going to assume that one is here. Oh, there's a nice structure. Go to the monthly. Find out where it's been in the past. Okay, so it's been a lot higher. It's had some very interesting kind of pumps and then dumps. Trend line. Is there a trend line there? Let's just quickly draw through here. Okay. Monthly trend line was hit, respected again. That's unfortunately been a very heavily respected one. If you missed that, just proves again, top-down analysis whenever possible is worthwhile doing. Certainly is worthwhile doing. Go to the weekly. Pumped and then dumped. What's the history of the pump dumps? Generally haven't been good for it, but I like the structure here more. Here it was forming and then it came down off the low. I think this is better because it's bought up, made a new high, come down, structured up here, formed support. That's probably around the dollar. Let's have a look. Where was that? Yep, that's around the dollar. That's excellent. Then it's broken the $1.50 and it's come back down. I'm liking this structure here. If you believe in it, it's a little bit high for the perfect entry. The perfect entry would have been around that $1.10, $1.05 area if it had hit. But yes, it does look bullish and potentially now it puts pressure on this. If you're wondering what you're looking for in the future, it's all about that trend line. When you see a trend line like that, you see a monthly close. Let's say Feb was closing above here. It would go probably to $2 and it would be quite strong. So I like it. Mux looks okay. Got another donation coming in here from Rambo Smith, $5. Good morning. First, thanks for the help. Can you look at DOYU? Thank you very much for the donation there, Rambo. Appreciate that, man. DOYU, another IPO coming through last year. An unusual IPO, a profitable IPO. Somebody said those alert sounds are a bit loud. No worries, we'll fix that. I can fix the alert box. Okay, there we go. Just reduce the sound a little bit there. Next time we should be able to test it. Thanks for the feedback. Always wanting to improve the stream. So thanks for that, Tristan.
I'll take your entire stock.
We should be able to tell whether it's better now. Marcos Duran, $2. So I'll answer your 1 second, Marcos. Here's DOYU. Can we learn anything about this one that will help us out in the future? Weekly, consolidated, didn't know what was happening. Earnings report probably pushed it through here. Came back down. It's broken to a new high. Pre-market is down 3%. 1861. Previous resistances. All right, let's go to daily. Okay, it's very aggressive. Okay. Kind of a bad candle there on the 4 hour from yesterday. All right, what do I think about this? I think it comes back down here before its next move. I also think it's worthwhile drawing a fib on this type of thing. Got a nice low to high ratio. You know, I like picking up fibs in the 38.2 to 50 area. Maybe it comes down to a 20 moving average on a 4 hour after that aggressive move. It does have a tendency to have some sell off after the large move because that's what it did previously. I like this zone. Look for more things. Look for things like bullish engulfings, not drawn terribly like that. We don't want a bullish engulfing like that. Yeah, maybe bullish engulfings here. I just feel like it's coming down. Anything closed under 18 is bad for you. And it hit the 20 psychological too. Yeah, I feel like the pullback's happening on DOYU. I think 20 was the target. Not saying it can't get there again, but that was the target. Marcus Duran, $2. Could you please look at NNOX? Did that fix the sound? Tristan says yes. Cool. You still hear it though, yeah? NNOX. So for anyone that's new here to the stream, the key to TA over the years that I've done it, and I've done it for 12 years, it may not look like I have, but I have, is pretty much that you want to always approach every single new instrument from top down. And what I mean by that is we go monthly, into the weekly, into the daily, do your scans, and when you're drawing, like let's say you want to always trade a currency, or you always want to trade Bitcoin or something like that, if you find key support resistances, put it on your charts, change the color. Change it to purple, maybe use purple. Purple is your weekly support resistances. Then you know that when purple randomly appears on your chart, it gives you that quick reminder, hey, I've got to do this. I've got to go and check out that was there for a reason. So draw up alerts. I recommend TradingView. I think it's awesome. The reason why is because you get alerts that you can set. You can send them to your mobile as well. You can get all of your, rectangle ranges. You can get things like rectangles here. I'm not actually really affiliated or own the company or anything. I just think it's excellent software. It's the best TA software out there, bar none. And I've used a lot. And never ever pick your stock trading platform based on TA software. Use something like TradingView, do it yourself. Buy the stock trading software for security and for good depth and good information about the stocks. Let's have a look at the weekly here. Bad rejection candle there. That's of course a shooting star that we're seeing appear on the weekly. That's unfortunate. Has this gone up though? What's the pre on this? 61.80. So 61.80, previous resistance right around that 60 area, and then you've got really nice support structure here as well. Let's go to the daily. Ooh, 50 moving average 1, 2. Okay. Daily 50 moving average, exponential. Plus you've got that support structure holding you just in case it spikes through, and you're around the 60. It's not bad. It's a bad weekly. It's bad structure up here being a double top as well, but it is back to the correct support. It's not something I would trade. If you want to buy the company and you're wanting to buy a dip or whatever this is, then it's a correct level. But that is a double top and that does look negative. We always want to proof double tops. One of the ways we can do that is we take the distance, extrapolate that distance out, and we see what that proofs, and that proofs a 40. So that might be scary to you, but that is proofing a 40. If it gets through this 50 moving average, I would be not surprised at all to see this stock go to 40. Good luck on it though. 50 moving average, 2 hits. There is some structure support here because the resistance, but the proofing is in the double top. And it just closed below. That's pretty negative. Stocks are hard to short. They're always long assets, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Tristan says eToro actually has really good charts and annoying ads. Lots of other things suck, but the charts are nice. I added the annoying ads. Look, eToro, most of the Forex brokers, eToro was a Forex broker. Almost all Forex brokers have okay charting software, but they may not have necessarily the depth that you want for other things. Like eToro is not a stock. Yeah, it's really not a stock one. in my opinion. Hi FX, can you check AAPL? Hey, I got no problem checking AAPL. That's from Pedrola. All right, let's get a bit of a mood of the room today. What are you guys thinking about the market today? Up or down? We're usually wrong, as a community anyway. Up or down today for the stock market? Let me know. Thanks as well to the 600 people that are already here, nice and bright and early. We're only at 11:12 p.m. my time, so we've still got 2 hours plus till the S&P 500 opens. AAPL breaking under our long-lasting trend line here on the daily. We've got a 1.61 with a 0.55 pre-market down. We'll look at the pre-market together in just a few moments. This zone here is looking bearish, and we know that we have Apple as usually a lead telling us what's going to happen next in the markets. All right, let's see what people think here. Volcano says way up, then crash soon because of greed. Yeah, it could go way up. I'm still tending on this problem with the 4,000 level in the market. Let's have a think about this zone. So trend line broken for the first time. Is that negative sentiment? We know this structure through these 130s. We know Apple likes its little $5 increments, so it probably goes down to 130 before it finds any support. I find this quite hard to read. If I was going to have a guess based on technicals, I would be thinking it's short. And when it gets through 130, if it does, we've completed the sequence. That's a peak to a trough to a lower peak to hopefully a lower trough. Trisha says, Tennessee, Trish here. Good morning. Good morning, Trisha. Down, up as always, says Max. Down, down, down. It's kind of like a 50%. I'd say maybe 65% of people think down. Yesterday we had a literal mixture. I would say it was mostly up. So that probably means we're going up, yeah? RIOT, yeah, we'll look at RIOT soon. Jeff says, I think you said TradingView is best versus other TA software. What is TA software? Well, it's this, technical analysis software. All right, just had to fix for something there. Kevin says, I bought a new MacBook M1, so it's bullish. That, unfortunately, Kevin, you buying it doesn't mean it's going to be bullish, but I get what you're saying. Let's have another look at the futures here. Let's do a refresh on the markets going around. What is up, what is not? Some VIX here. This particular VIX up, volatility index. Crude across the board is up. Market's still showing some weakness. DAX has recovered a little bit. That was down 0.7 when we started the stream 45 minutes ago. So there is some recovery in the futures right now. Dollar index still really, really high though, 90.85. So it hasn't been that's caused it. Let's have a look around the crypto markets. Where are we looking at? We've passed $1.5 trillion. We're now 1.54. That's pretty significant, I think. Bitcoin, of course, breaking through 50. We looked at that. Anyone that's interested in Bitcoin, go back about 20 minutes. We had a look at it. Cardano, Polkadot, XRP, well behind both of these now. Do you guys think Polkadot, for anyone that knows, which is the stronger out of Cardano and Polkadot? I'm interested in the opinion of everyone. I'm thinking it's Polkadot, but I'm not. I'm going to do some more research into Polkadot. I actually don't know it that well, but I'm interested in this coin very much. So Cardano or Polkadot, which one do you think is stronger? All right, let's have a look at some other things that have been requested. We've been requested silver, so we'll do that. Kunal says, oof, VIX up 26 from 21. That's that VIX, Kunal. The VIX that we usually look at sitting around 21.5, 21.6. Silver finding some little bit of pressure, support through the 27, 26.80. Let's go down to the 1 hour. You'll notice when it gets down to this 2680 zone, it has been bought off before. So we'll move this yellow support line across this area. Very interesting area. We also have the resistance up here, 2740. If it did come down today, find support here, bounce back up, you could cast that as a aggressive move. And that double bottom would probably put it back into our all-important 2780 zone. I'm still saying with silver, for me, it's all about 2780. I've got long positions in it anyway, but 2780 for trade positions. I can't see anything else for now. Break below this level though, anything under 2680, all of a sudden we're starting to say, wow, we're going back to 26. And that could be a trading opportunity if you want to look at it. Alta says Polkadot will take over ETH. A few people saying Cardano is the dirty sister and will raise above. I think ADA, Cardano, never heard of the Polkadot, says Volcano. Interesting. Pretty much mixture there. Mixture from everybody's and their opinions on it as I read it. Let's have a look at the pre-market now. So we've got two pre-market reports we're going to be looking at. We had our spec list that we were looking at yesterday here. Of the pre-market, TLRY down 5, Sundial had a nice close on it. Now, not looking so good, 15% down, $1.86. So it looks like TLRY and the other weed stocks, the big ones, are holding their gains, whereas Sundial really is not. It's just not holding enough gain for us. I'm a bit unfortunate for this, but just remember this is more of a meme kind of stock compared to the others. What other things are happening? This is all very slow today in the pre-market. No big gains. Yesterday, some of these were moving very, very hard. Now they're not. AMC, of course, 0.18. I think we're almost done with that one being a thing that gets requested all the time. GameStop sitting around that 49.51. Still holding above 48. And AMC still holding above 550. Two important zones. Let's have a look at the screener. Check out the 23 billion plus in terms of screener. Futu down 4.71. Okay. Snowflake, a hated stock of mine, down a little bit there. A little bit of red. Green, DoorDash, square up again off the crypto kind of craze that's going on right now. 279, 1.13. Pretty impressive there from Square. Will it go towards 300 this week? It's on a rocket ship for sure. PayPal up again as well. But the greens are definitely a lot weaker than they were at the start of yesterday. Nasdaq down? Yes. So here's the Nasdaq. Nasdaq should be weaker than the S&P 500 in February. I'm still incredibly surprised the Nasdaq is even holding these zones. I don't know how exactly it's holding up, but it is. Here's the 4-hour. Zones to watch today. Previous low because of this. Look at this. This is the futures. Wick buying, close below the 13.7, the 100. We then expose some short selling potentially back down into the 13.6 where we hit what I would say is some market structure that's pretty significant. So previous resistances become support. This zone I am watching. If we take the last bull run out as well and we fib that bull run, there's the bull run. We fib that on the futures. It's not even enough down. So this zone is only just the beginning. I don't think it's enough, but for day traders, they will be probably trading off this area. And that's the 13.6, 13.7. 13.7 close underneath triggers that 13.6 zone. IOTA from Schofield. Yeah, we can probably check out IOTA. It's another one of the coins that we've been following, or a lot of people have been. Tesla will be the story of today, I would say. Dollar index is the story of today. Mentioned that already. Dollar index with the strong bulling back into our heavy area of resistance and support. The market structure here could be formed. If we continue to see dollar strength through this point, maybe some structure of form 91, then 91.50, and anything higher than that is really going to trigger a huge amount of selling, I would say, in the stock market. Remember, dollar strength generally means risk off, especially when we have so much extension going on. Let's have a look at the news for today. I talked about this a little bit in terms of in the video today. If you missed it, 30-year treasury yields versus high PE stocks. Is there any correlation? Well, we have seen some increase. Now, a few people correctly identified that if you actually correlate them and bring them both together, what ends up happening is not as good as you think. And what I mean by that is you do get some correlation, but it's not a super strong one. What I think is different about this is that we have an incredibly bullish market followed by some increase here in treasury yields. And that treasury yield could be causing some scares in the market as well. Click on Market Watch, great website if you don't use it. Probably one of my favorite little bits of news that's free. Has some pretty bad articles, but I like just, you can click on one and then you can see all of the information today. Not much. Oh, wow, that's annoying for sundial holders. Heavily shorted stocks, seems to be a tab here as well. You see all the floats when it's updated. That is way too out of date. They added that one in. AMC was up there. GME was up there, of course, back then. Let's have a look at this. So update, sundial files. Load up the other one. Sundial files shelf to issue up to 1 billion in securities over time. Regains Nasdaq compliance. Okay. Well, that's why they're down. Issuing new stock, not good for the holders here. And this is what sometimes you can find. Bugger. Not the best. Thanks very much to the 700 people that are joining us so early here. About 2 hours till the market opens, but plenty to go through. Have a few planned stocks that I want to look at today as well. In terms of things that are ranking this morning that people are talking about, let me just quickly bring that up. We've got SOS. We've got something called eHang. Of course, RIOT blockchain. We'll look at that right now. I know a lot of people always want to look at this RIOT. Pre-market, we are up another 12.45%. So this went well past my expectation. My expectation was that we would hit around that $50 mark, find some selling pressure. It's now trading at a 67 on the pre-market. It is the true essence of my starting intro to the moon and never back. Is there a way of getting into this other than just buying random price and praying? Probably not that much. We've seen a 1 hour 20 exponential pickup. We've seen really no other pickups here. It's so aggressive. You actually have to go down to a 15-minute to find anything that can stick with the trend. This one here is a completely very strong gamble. When it eventually blows off, it will be severe. I will put that out there right now. If you trade this, have a strategy. Pete Udow says, I warned everyone about SNDL. They constantly dilute. And you know why they have to do that? Because most of these marijuana weed stocks have no cash flow. In Australia, they all constantly dilute their shares and go for offerings. And they do this because they literally are making no money. A lot of them cannot make money. They use shares and dilute them to get more. Hannah Tucker says, got into SOS at $1.80. So SOS is another one that's been high flying. What do I think for RIOT, by the way? I think that that one is just going to go every $10, and you need to be careful every $10. Every $10 now will be a chunk. You must have a get out on a plan on that, because it'll be pretty brutal. So SOS was one that was trending yesterday. It opened up. It actually created a lot of structure, which is interesting. This is so bizarre on the 15-minute. Check this out. So it's actually trading into a triangle or a pennant. Now, because it has such an amazing flagpole effectively on the pennant, that's what you would use. So you would use the breakout where, wow, it's huge. So it's about a $6 one. Let me get this distance. Okay, so it's basically predicting just underneath 20 or over 20, but I'd say underneath 20. Very interesting. That's a fully fledged pennant there on the 15 minute for a stock that is hyperactive. It's going to open around 15, it looks like, up another 30%. These are, again, mostly gambles, so be careful with them. They'll trade up to. Now, do you set your take profit at 20? No. You always have to go underneath. 20 is too dangerous. It might spike through, but more times than not, it'll go just underneath and then bust off. Because novice traders, which will be all over this thing, and you know how I know, because it's the most trending thing right now. So there'll be a lot of newbie traders in it. Let's have a quick look here at some of the comments that are going on. I'm sure they're pretty funny. The first one, Mo Money. Look at everyone's happy in here. Yeah, that's good. I like that first one. Think about psychologically. 15, first 5, and then 20. Good luck. SCKT. Yeah, we'll look at SCKT. That's Socket Mobile. This one here, big run up yesterday. I know a few people were mentioning it when I think it was around 10. Went from 3 to 10 to 30. I'd say it is doomed now. It's in full blow off. Look at the daily here. That's what you want to call paper hands. Basically, it's a pump dump special. And when you see a pump dump special, you can always tell that it's going to be pump dump because it never had any history of doing anything. Moved up hard, not very big stocks. This is what we're going to see, hits on it. When you're looking at hits, what I would be doing is looking at market caps. Okay, so market capitalization was $125 million at this price. So it really went to probably about $200 million. Now, if you're thinking about the entire internet right now, the amount of retail traders and everyone gets on board the pumping train, and you're talking about a market capitalization so small, it's incredibly easy to push it through lots of levels, and then someone's going to be held left in the bag. For me, 30 would have been the target, and 20, I would have been out at both of those and probably even portioned out at 10. But the hype right now, think about the market capitalization. It's so small, it's possible to push it up. I'd say it's over now, and everyone will disappear from this one. If there is a second resurgence, it most likely won't make the previous peak. Good luck. Lego Spartan says, hodl the Tesla. The Tesla. Market pre 90.85 here. US 500 still hovering around the 39.30. US 100 13,743. So weakness more in the Nasdaq than the other ones. Let's have a look at some of the stocks I wanted to kind of check out today. One of them is going to be the D-Dog, the Data Dog. Now, from a technical standpoint, the Data Dog looks bizarre. But I wanted to talk about where it is compared to how much it's run. So the Data Dog came in. The Data Dog went very, very strong through April into the June period. It's then relatively hovered. So it's become more of a boring stock, some people would say. Hovered between 98, 73, 118, 80, 110, 93, 117, 103, etc. Now, I employ a different tactic than a lot of people would. And I'm just getting it ready. Let me just quickly load this up. So you guys might find this pretty interesting. Now, when I'm making fundamental decisions and everything else technically for investment, I also look at these types of things, which are reviews of people that actually work at the company. And the reason I do this, and I think, a lot of people should in their analysis, that guy looking pretty crazy, is that when you go to the reviews and you think about certain things here, what have we got that's good? Well, culture is good. Having a decent management score is good. Work-life balance, unfortunately, you kind of want it to be bad because that usually means people are working really, really hard. And then you go through most of the reviews and you see what people are saying. Now, if you do that, what you're doing is you're getting a bit of an inside peek into the general culture in the business. A lot of the times there are secrets in here. Now, people don't necessarily do this, but I also do, of course, Google Trends. I want to look if people are searching it. Now, that's specific for retail kind of companies more than this one. This one's used more by businesses. It's not going to be searched much until earnings time. But these are the types of things that I will bring into it. And I might add, let's say, 3% weight using these types of things. So I'll say, okay, what's this doing? Looks good. Trend looks good. It's consistent with the earnings results. It's consistent with it. It's a bit of outside the box. Then what people think of the company, if it's generally positive towards management, towards the ecosystem, the culture, the innovation is good. Possibly got a good positive on your head. Susan Barnes says, I invested almost all my money in Bitcoin. Okay, Susan, good luck. So the data dog here is coming back down after hitting that 119. I do expect further weakness here. It's a pretty highly priced company. Trend line not set till possibly the 100. If we do see a sell-off, potentially it comes down to the trend line. And remember, what's been happening recently? Higher low, higher low, higher low. We have a high here, kind of like equal highs. We break out, go back to the consistency, and then maybe a movement up. Boring stock, interesting concepts. My thoughts only. Will Apple surge anytime soon? Sack says, I don't think so, Sack. Apple seems to be done with surging for now. Its valuation is very high. People are moving their money into lower valuations. It was easy to spot some of the first ones. Apple, Google. Well, Google actually took a while. Apple, Facebook, Amazon, those types of ones. You've seen them stagnating for some time now. Like you look at something like Amazon. I saw Walmart as well as thinking of really pressuring Amazon in a few ways. It's actually been stagnating since July last year. So you would never, this is almost the longest Amazon's gone for quite some time, other than its 18 into 20 kind of stagnation. It's really doing it. Now remember over here, what was happening? I remember the experts, they were saying 4,000, 3,800, 4,000. Everyone was buying into it. That one is going to take some time. Now, Facebook's something I'm also quite bullish on in terms of investment, but it's been stagnating as well since August. So any sell pressure here just puts a lot of downward momentum on it. You look at something like Square, that's just been consistently going up, up, up. And you can see here Square pre-market 278. So 0.74%. 278. I did my analysis on this with you yesterday. Every $20 is resistance. We actually hit the 280 yesterday, sold off that zone. Do we come back down now to the 260 and meet it? There's a lot of hype in this due to the cryptocurrency craze, but if we hit just underneath 300, do we think that's going to be a great sell-off? Yes. Most likely, yes, based on everything we've learned about the $20 with Square. Harvey C, have we looked at the DAX 30? No, but we should, because the DAX is open at the moment, so it might give us some insights. We will use this one. Might give us some insights into the markets right now. Basically a long leg doji on the daily. It is above the previous resistances. Resistance, resistance, resistance. That's the triple. A lot of overseas markets waiting to see what the US is doing. Look at this. Resistance becomes resistance. We've got this intervening trough. Today, you get a break underneath this line here. What's that going to do for us? It's going to cause a double top. That double top's going to force selling. The selling range here will be probably around this. Back into these previous supports, 13.6. So a lot of critical zones and areas for the market right now. This is the DAX. 13.9's been buying pressure. We get underneath that, all of a sudden we're selling off. US 500 recovering a little bit here, 3 points now, 3933. The US 100, 13757. The first hour is going to be pretty important here for sentiment for the day for the markets. Dollar says hi. Can we have a look at PLTR? Yeah, I can do that. If people are going to send through some stocks as well, if you find like a cool structure, as a community, it's awesome to share those structures. So if you find a channel, if you find an ascending triangle, a triangle, any type of setup, I'll show you one, the type of thing you look for. Let us know. Like Platinum, we found one of those the other day. It was an amazing setup. We've seen crypto do the same thing. Share it around, because if we can find these types of things, I'd love to have that as part of the consistency in the stream, rather than me and a few others just doing it. If you find them, show them around. This one, PLTR's back into the support. I feel like a bit of the pressure's come off here. We've talked about this level quite a few times. Basically, anywhere around this 28 to 29 zone should be buying pressure. Previous resistances acting as support. I'm not bullish on this at all after the movements, after what's happened. But if you are going to find bullish pressure, this was the first point. We've said that pretty consistently now for the last 3 to 4 days of stream. It's been in a selling pressure to this point. This is where I expect some buying up of PLTR. In terms of how it's trading or tickering, it is falling off pretty hard, but it's still in there. So in terms of most discussed, this is a good website to be able to look at it. You'll see here, still discussed. Let's have a look at the trend. Message volume is up right now. That's good for the day, right at the correct area. So if message volume's up because of the way it trades, I believe there's a chance. It's a good way of looking at it with that trigger. TLRY, something I'm looking at. 2.69% now down pre-market. Yesterday's close was pretty good for this one. I thought it was another pretty good opportunity. Its takeover target, AFRIA or whatever, that was even better with the arbitrage. They both got upgraded by some random firm. If you saw that upgrade, it's kind of pushed through as well. Resistance, 35, the struggle zone. We get above 35. Let's have a look at the smaller time frames here. Don't really want a 3 hour. Let's go to a 1 hour. Look at this, 35. Ooh, we get there, but we do not close a 1 hour. Today, I'll be looking for a 1 hour close. Now, today is TLRY's earnings. So we'll go through the earnings calls because we need to look at some earnings in a minute. $40 would be the target pre-earnings. And I have this tendency to think that it is a pump into the news and then a dump after the news. Now, I'm not saying the news is going to be bad. It could be okay. But I have this feeling, the pump into the news and the sell-off. So be careful with TLRY and other weed stocks today. Let's have a look at the earnings reports coming out. What have we got? Shopify. We're going to need to look at that before open. Shopify, Wix as well, another pretty big one. Some of these other companies you might be looking at. TLRY after the close. Roku, of course, later on the week. That's one that's been going very mental. I will look at the charts. And then Walmart. I'm actually surprised Five is even on the exchange. I didn't even realize. Tom W says, word on the street is that the hedge funds are making a move to corner the uranium market. Pretty small market. Could they succeed? See DNN. DNN. Is this one that's also in the Denison Mines, I assume? look here. 4% pre-market down. It's already had a very nice move on it. Go to the weekly. Oh, we looked at this one before. DNN. Yeah, we pretty much decided $1.75 was the resistance here, and that the pre-market $1.50 psychological, but $1.75 resistance was going to get a very tough time to get through, and then $2, just the standard psychologicals. We don't have any moving averages catching up yet. Yeah, we did look at that one. Go back a little bit later and you'll see it. mRNA, Moderna. This is from Blitz King. No worries, Blitz King. Thank you so much, the 800 people that are joining us. The market will, of course, open not that long away now. We're starting to get there. A little bit over 1.5 hours until the market opens. We'll look at Shopify soon as well. Moderna, very nice returns. Anyone that got this at 100, you did incredibly well. I missed it and I'm kicking myself. I should have been on this one. I don't know what I was doing. I had it set because it went so crazy through that period. And then it went nuts up to the 178, pulled back hard, and I should have been there at the 100, but I wasn't. Where is it now? Resistance. I think it's at a very dangerous valuation here and a very dangerous level. It broke through. It's consolidating. Continue to see the consolidation until the 20 breaches it. And then if it breaches the 20 and goes underneath, as like last time, it'll probably signal further bearish pressure. I'll be looking at the daily here and watching very closely the structure formation that's happening. Look in the smaller time frames. Wait till the daily comes because it's probably going to float around there. I don't like it long. I'm incredibly neutral towards this one right now. I will check that for you, Raven. Yep, we'll have a look at this one. Anti, just because supposedly it's up a lot. Airnet Technology. So this is up 37.37%. So well done for getting into that one, I guess. It's not on my main tickers, so interesting. Let's go to the monthly. It's a new one, new IPO or something like that. It's in commercial services, advertising, marketing. Did we look at this one before? There's nothing you can say about this other than it will go towards psychological numbers. It stopped at 5 yesterday. What's it aiming for today? Possibly 10. You want to, of course, take your profit and be very careful in these positions. It's the same as most of these ones that have been moving up. Another thing for Sundial, if people are looking at Sundial, they're issuing shares. That's why it's down compared to the rest of the weed market. It's definitely taking a hit from that. CRM from Richard Tomlinson. I love CRM. CRM is awesome. Salesforce had great structure on it. It's down 0.33 into the market. We've got clear takes here, 270 just underneath, 269, 90, 80. The structure was here for me. It was really good. It's a great trade. Well done. I've been bullish on this for some time. I think you could even be almost bullish on it even if the market did decline. It's that good. Structure formation, reached the lows of 215, 230, broke out, closed, quickly came back, rejected that zone, small pullback, bullish hammer, movement up, gap higher yesterday, up about 3% and a bit yesterday. CRM looks really good. It'll have its ebbs and flows through this, but longer term or even medium term, 270 on the hit. Kevin N says CRM is solid. Yeah, CRM is really good. This is the kind of thing I like. You guys probably find it like you're like, oh, CRM's boring. Here's a question I've got for you all. Do you prefer, right now, of course, we're in the pump dumps, but do you actually prefer we do go to a bit of blue chips? Let me know. Do you guys like looking at some of the big ones, or do you prefer just the pumps? Say pump if you prefer the pumps, and say quality if you prefer the quality. I should really say the pumps are crap. So SNDL, yes. Sideret, I would suggest you go and have a look at the news. Unfortunately, Sundial files shelf to issue up to $1 billion in securities. They're sneaky. They don't care about the current movements or the shareholder, and that's what's happening. Conrad Jupiter says both. Fair enough. Both is certainly an answer. AAPL from Hamster. We looked at that one before. It's interesting. Apple's coming in here. People suddenly asking about Apple. Not sure why. Quality. Most people like quality, few people both. Pump. Quality pump, says Code Smith. We will be doing that on the stream. Probably tomorrow I'll do some scanning with you to find these pumps. It's pretty simple though. You basically go to FinViz, you go to your scanner. Where's my scanner? And then you'll put in your stocks and you'll look for volume and you'll look for very smallish companies that with high short kind of data on them and stuff. So we'll do that tomorrow. We'll break it all down and go through the whole structure. I'll have that ready for you for stream. So definitely if you're interested in that, for the 800 plus viewers out there, subscribe, come back, come and watch the video, even if you're not live, and check it out. I think you're going to enjoy this one. So we'll do some screening tomorrow using the FinViz screener. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Not today though. There's a few other things I want to do first. So generally, most people said quality over the crappiness, but I think at the moment we're just doing pumps because it's so interesting to see what's going on. Expat says blue chips. Check out SAP on US Exchange. SAP is a competitor of CRM. Yes, so SAP and CRM both have had some pressure on them recently. Now this is SAP. Yep. Let's look at the weekly here. I'm actually surprised how low SAP got. October was trading 106. Now it's made some recovery. Pre-market 127. So I haven't personally used SAP. Anyone use SAP in their businesses? Do you guys like it? Which is better, CRM or SAP? I've used CRM. I've never used SAP. Bearish looking candle there. Pre-market 127 is here. That's a bearish weekly. Tried to get above that. I think it might try to double bottom through this 100. It's clearly got some earnings problems. I'm feeling actually a short would be here, but I wouldn't short it. I just wouldn't buy it at this zone. What do people have you reviewed Can? I haven't yet, Darren, but I will. Did you take a look at AFA yet, Tom? Not yet, but we will, Jennifer. Don't worry. SAP is good. Don't think many with a choice would use SAP over CRM. SAP used to be good, says Code Smith. Johnson & Johnson. All boomer companies use SAP. New version is rolling out at the moment. My company uses it. The question is it going to be better though? Is it going to improve, or is it just some kind of like crappy, not going to work that well? I'm very interested. Like, I love this stuff. I think this is an underappreciated little sector of the market right now. The other underappreciated, well, it's appreciated, but the other sector is, of course, in cybersecurity. I've been crapping on about that for a little while. I still believe it's great. I still believe there's opportunities. Net is going to be an opportunity. We'll take a look at Net. There's so many quality stocks you guys are talking about. Get me excited when I talk about quality stocks. I like them. This one here, though, has problems. Firstly, being the crazy movement that it had on it since last year. So this is Cloudflare. You can see the rejections here coming through. I actually read the earnings report. And in the earnings report, there's two things. One, they sandbagged their own product. So what that means is they basically said, oh, we're going to only earn 4% quarter on quarter increase. That's well underneath what they think. And they've had this tendency to do that twice now and then completely exceed it. So when they do that, I don't believe them. I think that's a bit of a lie, but it is putting pressure on the market here. I do find it a little bit high in the valuation. The actual technical was great here, and then the reality of the feedback was bad. But I encourage people to read that, and we will read one or two reports on stocks that I like soon. I want to get back to this SAP. What are you guys thinking here? Disney uses SAP, uses CRM. Interesting. Some structure on Lulu. Okay. I've never even looked at Lululemon. I know it's been a great stock, but I didn't quite understand it. And when you don't understand it, I can't hold it. Yeah, it made very little sense to me. Yes, there is structure formation. I'm not sure how to feel about it. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's not a bad price, not a great price. I'm just trying to figure out whether there's even a trend line that's going through here that at least we can tell bullish momentum's come back in. I think so. Yeah, I think that's fair on the 4 hour. On the bottom, there's one as well. A little bit. I'd probably trap it like that. Anything that breaks past this 350 now would be bullish, and bearish momentum for now, possibly back down to the 300. Interesting. Okay, so we had some others there that we want to look at. Darren says, own net crowd CLDR. Nice, Darren. Promise this one. APHA was a very sweet kind of pump into the dump. This is the distribution. Went as low as 15. Another one that's been bought up in the arbitrage. It's actually up pre-market. So this is actually stronger than TLRY. If you want to compete both of them next to each other, APHA has been better than TLRY. It's been upgraded. A few people, yesterday it was up 28%. Looks like it's going to target like a 25. I'm not sure how to feel about it. I still think you've got huge risks here because it's arbed in many ways to TLRY into the report today. So I'll have a look at TLRY in just a moment. But this is up 4.23% here in the pre-market, possibly targeting maybe a 24 or even a 25. Be careful at the end of the day on that. Let's have a look at TLRY quickly. Pre-market's still down 3. Yeah, SAP has a lot of competition coming through on it. Yeah, interesting to know. Like, I don't particularly like companies that have too much competition. I like companies that have high moats. Why do I like Disney? Because you can't compete. Who can compete with Disney? They're the machines. They've got everything. They've got all the IPs. They can do their own streaming service. They bought Fox. They probably will get some kind of antitrust on them in the end. Thoughts on RIOT? Every $10 on RIOT is resistance. Kevin said it would be good to also scan for industries that have been hit hard and haven't rebounded yet. Look, we'll do that together for sure. I think right now, because the market's so interesting and there's so many pump dumps, I haven't done some of these things, but we will. So if you're interested in all that stuff, keep watching. I'll share as much as I can with you guys from what I do know. Mike, I'm not sure if there's any point in looking at work. So work is, of course, Slack. But this just going to float around this zone now, isn't it? I'm not even sure why it's up, really. I thought it just got bought out and was just going to float around this zone for a while. So I wouldn't look too much into this one. Vicky Horton says, do you feel it's wise to purchase physical copper? Probably not, Vicky. I would just purchase copper mines and stuff. I think with physical, look, people like the idea of owning gold bars and bullion of silver, and maybe I'll chuck some silver bullion over there soon or something just for fun. I'll buy some. But realistically, yeah, it's a pain in the ass to own. You've got insurances, you've got the vault. It's not that fun. Can we look at Airbnb? Yeah, I haven't looked at Airbnb in some time. What the hell is the code for it? Airbnb, there we go. So it hit the 200, went through, went up to 216, bounced down twice. That was our initial thought process when we did it in Jan. We thought it would sell off from that point. It did. It then picked up off the 178 and it's gone back and hit the 218, 220 zone. And now it's formed a little bit of structure here. Up pre-market 0.54. Let's go down the 4 hour. A little bit of structure. Go down the 1 hour. Okay, so there's actually a channel here on the 1 hour. And the channel yesterday was trending down. I'm surprised this stock can be up actually through this pandemic stuff. I'm surprised it is. Here we've got the structure and we break below. That's going to trigger some selling pressure for sure. How big is it? About $10 in length. So we'll just go basically back down to the 200. Then possibly you might see buying. There is a trend line, I believe, through all of these points. So if we get the pullback through all of these points, $200 is right around here. And it's going to hit that trend line. So that would be my thought process on Airbnb right now. Trend line going through all of these pullbacks, another pullback coming to 200, then possibly the bounce up. Code Smith says Airbnb seems pretty overvalued. I totally agree with you. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's creepy. I like the company. I like everything they do. I just don't like the current valuation. But that goes with a few things. You know, I said for a long time I didn't like Tesla's valuation that much. I was a bit wrong there. Went up 100% after that point. You can't stop it, hey? So pre-market here, 39.33 on the US 500. We've got US 100, 13,750. Gold, 17.92, putting pressure on those lows again, but it has bounced back up a little bit pre-market here. It's probably led by the dollar coming down, 90.81.
I'll take your entire stock.
Donation here from Pancho Al Carnivoro, $4.99. Hello, what do you think of alt? Thank you very much for the donation there, Pancho. Appreciate that. We'll take a look at it in just a few moments. VIX now dropping a little bit into today, down 1.35%, 21.2. We click on the futures. Let's go to this future scanner. Future scanner is showing us still a 26 here, but that'll be delayed. DAX still holding a 0.53 down. It's interesting. Let's have a look at alt. Assume it's this one. Pre-market up 9.37%. Is this on my list? It is. Okay, so this is a trending stock right now. You'll notice it down here in the top 10. Let's have a quick look at what the comments are on it. Messaging volume slightly down. Okay. All right, so it's hit the resistance and now it's broken through. So this was previous support, was going to act as resistance. That's why it's been kind of correlating around there and hovering up and down. Pre-market 23. Okay, where's the next targets? Probably around that 30. Let's get that up. Here it is, around that 30. Interesting area. Get the 4 hour. Any touches to the zones? The 54 hour got touched twice before it broke up, but I don't think that's very important. Again, the structure. Okay. Previous highs, 22.65. So if it can hold, let's say a 1 hour, because you can see it's bouncing around here in the pre-market. If it can hold above the resistance up here, close a 1 hour. So let's say it closes a 1 hour like here. That's going to be very bullish. Then next target, possibly 25 into the 30. Did it stop at the 20? Barely. So you can see some selling pressure. 18 randomly sold off. 20 didn't care. So it doesn't care too much about psychologicals. I would say just it's about support resistance. Notice on the left-hand side here, it pumped and it dumped. Logical conclusion, the pump could come straight into 30. Good luck on this one. Alt, this is a health technology biotech. They are well known for the strong pump into the dump. Pharma France, thanks for the donation by the way as well there. Appreciate that. Pharma France, let's talk about EH. So another one of the big trending stocks here. EHang Holdings, whoa. This was the one that got to 120 and then got absolutely destroyed yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry for people that got onto this one. This is what's going to happen to a few of these pumps, though, moving through. Again, thanks as well to 900. Let's see if we can get this stream to 1,000. If you haven't already, you're enjoying the stuff, remember, hit that like button. It really helps us out on getting more people to the stream. And the more people we get here, the more often I can do this stuff as well. Make it kind of worthwhile to get on the streams. Here is a massive sell-off, and I mean massive. Unless there's some type of split or something we don't know. Ehang Holdings, technology services, package software. All right. 129 down to 45. I don't think it's coming back. It might have some random pickup back into this previous support and act as resistance. This is unfortunately very gone. Yeah, I don't like it at all. Any pullback will be met by heavy selling because you've ruined what we call sentiment. And if you get rid of sentiment, guys, it's over. It's like GME and AMC. Currently, we're creating some sentiment by holding an area. But look at the interest in it. AMC searches are down to like 1% of where they were. GME is very similar. We've broken the sentiment. We need to get the hype back into it. And this one here certainly doesn't have it. Left holding the bag, says Brand Barbs. Absolutely. This is what's going to happen to a lot of people on this. Bern Rodson says, wow, that is brutal. That was in the report. What was in the report? So if there is a report, it was probably incredibly bad. Let me have a look what's in the report. Deceptive Wolfpack report. All right, let me bring this on. Oh. What the hell? When did they do this? Well, anyway, it's a bad report. I'm not going to read it after seeing that. DNMR down 8% yesterday, 9% pre-market. Good company, can it recover? From Ya. DNMR. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Looks insane as well because it's on the 1 hour. Look, structure formation, $50. Hopefully has buying pressure. Today we're pre-marketing down 10. Maybe the pre-market increases. We're sitting at US 500, 39.32. You're probably going to need the futures to come up overall as well just to bring this back. I'm not sure what exactly this is. Whether it's a SPAC of some kind. All I can tell you is that the daily did come back to a 20 before, and around this open is basically on the 20. Notice how the market often opens right onto support or resistance. It often opens right onto that zone.
I'll take your entire stock.
Got a donation coming in here from Bad Mama Jammer 618, $2. What's your thoughts on Mike T? Mick T. Okay, at least it hasn't pumped crazily yet. So 17.27 was a pump and dump. This is probably a favorite kind of pick. Let's have a look at market cap here. I'll bring market cap up for myself. Very small market capitalization right now, $176 million. You may think, oh, that's quite a lot. It's actually really, really small. So this one here could be setting up. Is it on my trenders? Let's have a look. Not yet. Let me just search. Searching this one, McT. Messaging volumes up insanely. This person says they've been in the stock for years and it's been here. Just hold for $5. That's what he reckons. All right. So from a technical perspective, look, it's coming out of a holding range. So actually, for it to be bouncing here is not obscene. Like $2 was pretty good buying pressure. Yeah, you see this. all the way through January, $2 is bought up. It's had that pump. It's had a movement down. Pre-market, it's down to 248, so it's sitting right around that structure. Let's get in the 4 hour
I'll
here.
take your entire stock.
This could be in the setups. I actually think it's worthwhile checking the volume on it as well. Okay. Huh. Thanks for the donation on this one. It's interesting. So, I don't know anything about this company, but one thing's for sure is there's a huge amount of volume that just came in, which is random. Messaging is up huge, and it actually had a base at around $2. Okay. Okay. Support, resistance, all the way through this 240, 250. Again, 248 pre-market. It's known for the pump dump, so you got to have a plan. $5, that guy was probably correct in that aspect. You wouldn't want to hold it for this and think that a hope and a prayer is going to get you to 8, but $5. And again, this is a gamble, and you should be very, very, very careful in this type of thing. But volume is up hard. I'd probably do some more volume analysis on this. Make sure those figures are correct. Check it out in your platform, that type of thing. Looks all right. EL Capital, $2. Thank you very much for the donation. Zom been trying to break $3 past few trading days. Pete Udow says that volume yesterday is interesting. It is incredibly interesting to see that much volume come through. I'll also show you this. I'll show you this, guys. Check this out. So messaging volume 460% up. Now that doesn't surprise me when you've got the movement, but the volume is there, which is really weird. And the price, while up 17%, was insanely high. So it could be potentially some aggregate kind of purchase. Make no mistake, it's a gamble. I'll leave that there for the open. Now, the capital ZOM. We're going to look at that right now. ZOM. Been trying to break past $3 for the few trading days. So here we are with ZOM. 1 hour gets into 290, gets into 290 again, breaks down. Both times it's come down to around the same area. Pre-market 227, which is fine. That's right on the support. I see why you gave a donation for this one, because you're probably wondering what's going on with this structure. So throughout that trading session, it did make a series of lower highs on the smaller time frame, which is not really a very bullish thing. Usually you want to just see like a lot of jagging, like, you know, kind of more structure highs forming through. Let's have a look at the 15-minute here, because we'll have to go down small time frames. The pressure was on the sell. You'll notice that you can pretty much draw a trend line through that. And why I do that is because now you're going to be predicting or trying to predict that the market is finding that bullish pressure. So we open probably here. We open around that 227, 225. We find hopefully buying pressure. If we close above here, where do you think we're going? Back to the 280, 290. And this time round, third time's the charm probably. And it may break through the 3. Now, what's next for it? Not sure. I remember covering this all last week. I was pretty much saying this area here was going to be take profit. I guess you're not really wrong, because that's where it is right now. $3 makes some psychological sense. But yeah, looking at that price action there, EL, good luck. Brian Stonks. That's a good name. Zom has, you have to join the Stonk squad there, Brian. Zom had recent underwriter exercise his options and bought millions of shares for $1.90. Okay, well, if he's buying millions of shares at $1.90, how big's the company? You're talking about $2.2 billion. So if he's buying quite a lot of them, then yes, he will be a bag holder potentially at that price as well. And maybe there's some inherent kind of buying pressure through that zone. We're now hitting 12 a.m. my time, which is about 1 hour, 15 minutes away from market open. So remember, get your coffee ready. We're about to get into the more interesting pre-market experience where we now see the nicer moves. We see more of an idea of whether these things are going to hold. We do have quite a lot of stocks that sometimes open up like 15, 16% in the pre-market early, and then they come well back off after that zone. They come well back off. Futu Holdings down 5.18. Tesla down 0.78. Let's go to the other side here. Microchip up 2.32. Alibaba also breaking through the 270. A few people in the stream might be happy with that one. Splunk, it's been kind of sitting there doing not much. And then we scroll through and the rest. Now, I'm not sure what's happening on Shopify right now. If we do have earnings report out. Does anyone know if the earnings reports come for Shopify? Not sure if it's come out yet. Selling the pre-market. This one broke through. So we take a look at Shopify here. 12.55.14. So it's been a very strong week. It's going to have to knock the lights out. Otherwise, we're going to see it back down into its holding pattern levels. Look at this setting alert for 12.50. Previous resistance could act as support. Also, the weekly 20 moving average has been very good for picking up Shopify throughout this bull process. Interesting levels there finding. Shop ER beat, but did it beat enough FC shopping? A few people want to look at NEO, TIGR as well. We will have to keep this one on our screen just because that's some strange volume from yesterday. So we'll check that one out. TIGR. Dr. Copper. Not sure what Dr. Copper's doing or saying, but we will check it out. Thanks again to the 950 people pre-market here. Still about an hour and 15 minutes away. So TIGR weekly is just absolutely vertical. Down 1.8 today, up 22.5 yesterday. This has me thinking, wow, wow, wow. And what I mean by that is be very, very, very careful. 20 moving average on the 4 hour was the two considerations and consolidations. Stopped at 30, stopped at 20, probably trying to get towards the 40. Then it will consolidate, hit the 20 moving average, hopefully, and then on to the next move. This one here, pretty confident 40 would be the stopper for it, based on previous 20 and around $30 structure. 20 moving average is your towel. If things are going bad, it will probably close through below this zone. Good luck on that one. AMC supposedly moving. Let's look at the pre-market on our watch list. So pre-market molecular data up again here, 6.35%. CCIV 2.64, 2.65 PLTR. AMC 0.89. So not as interesting as I was originally hoping there. Yeah, it's moving, but it's not moving much. I think until we see a breakout of a significant level, I'm not even sure if it's possible. Maybe a resurgence of GameStop above $60 or maybe AMC above $650. I don't believe there's going to be too much strength. I mean, I was seeing shilling all over the internet on the weekend. People making videos, AMC $5.50 to $10, and people are getting sick of it. They're not buying into that move at this stage. Remember, Sundial holders, they've issued shares on you. That's unfortunate. FC Shopping says shop revenue up 94%, adjusted diluted earnings per share $1.58. Big quarter, but apparently not good enough. Not good enough for that price action. These crazy PE levels must hold some serious gains. They need to go growth over. NEO was a request. We will look at that. NEO's starting to struggle here a little bit. Every time it gets to these highs, it's finding resistance and then just slowly selling off. Probably a little bit of sentiment coming out of this one. We talked about that resistance acting as support. Now, if we get this structure and we come down here, we break through this level and close below it, that's going to trigger some big selling, I would think, on NEO back down into the $45, $40 range. So be very, very careful here on NEO. The structure is okay for now, but a series of lower highs is not what I like to see. And pressure back on this area. So what is that area? I'll just quickly line it up. $55. $55 is the area. Pete Udow says, sweet puts on CCIV soon. Pete, you love it, don't you? Absolutely. It could be something that we do see. Is the 20 moving average in days or weeks? So Alex, the way the 20 moving average works is it's whatever the time frame that you're on. So it's for the periods, yeah? So what that means is that if you're on a daily, it's 20 periods back that's reading price. And an exponential moving average, if you're not sure what it is, it always puts greater weight on the last couple of candles. So basically, the difference between a simple moving average and an exponential moving average is a simple moving average is just going, okay, 20, the last 20 candles, we treat them all the same, divide it by 20, get the number. Exponential, last couple of candles, it's putting more weight on those ones. MU Education. Hi, please tell me, is ADA good for investing? I can't tell you whether it's good or not. What I can say is that it's not a bad coin. And it's worthwhile considering and reading up about yourself. Technically, the level right now is not amazing and not bad for the longer term. Bitcoin has come off a little bit during the stream. It's 50,000. Almost 51,000 right now. XRP has been finding some buying pressure. So we've still got our trend line here for XRP. This trend line must be broken out and above, and we put pressure on it just before for us to get the strength. Dollar index also 90.88 here. So US 500 coming down again into the pre-market. Things are about to get exciting. 1 hour, 10 minutes to go. 1 hour, 10 minutes to go. Walmart from the Jetties. Now, I haven't been asked for Walmart in so long, but it's nice to be asked there. Why not? I wouldn't mind looking at Walmart. So, the old, as many people would say, the super boomer stock. Walmart's had some pretty decent returns on it from basic percentages over the years. I don't know if I'm a fan of it or not. It's got earnings. The reason why it's got earnings, and is it's coming up to a very important trend line level here. Multiple series of lower highs or lower peaks through this. This is critical time here for Walmart. If it fails, where does it go? Back down to the 140. If it increases, maybe it goes test the 150. It's not super exciting from a percentage point of view, but it is at the resistance ahead of earnings, which come in this week. Which day are they? Earnings whispers. We have before the open tomorrow for Walmart. Not much else to say about it. Let's go check the news now. Let's go look at the Market Watch news. I'm not sure if this is actually a good article. Let's have a quick look here. Schiller PEs. Go buy Brazil, it says. Brazil trades for 8 times 2000 2010's real earnings versus 48 in the US. Okay. Yeah, Brazil's also got some problems. Anyway, whatever. That's not that great, that article. Whenever you're looking for news, if you just go through the basic free ones, might be worthwhile checking out FinBiz, scrolling on it. I like to search something I'm looking for, put in the search, and then basically scroll it off. If I have like Apple, let's say if I was looking for Apple, I'd search Apple, South Korea bourse to review Hyundai's official trades after Apple deal reports. Okay, interesting. That's an article if I was looking for that. If I wanted to find Shopify's earnings, you could see here Shopify pulls back even before record profit. So it's quite a nice thing to be able to just quickly control F and search through it. It's one of the ways I do stuff. Amazon, I won't look at Amazon, eat my shorts, but basically it's in a holding pattern and it's not doing too much of interest right now for us. VIX coming into the market here, 21.3. Dollar index, probably one of the stories of the day. Bullish strength into the 91, 90, 80 area. Very interesting resistance zone here, guys. I'm looking at it quite a lot. What do you think today, by the way, for pot stocks? I've got an interest here. Pot stocks, TLRY, ACB, etc. I've got a request there for ACB. Up or down today for pot stocks? So trending down right now, most of them. There's only about one or two up. Sundial obviously will not be up. The rest of them though, up or down, let me know. TLRY earnings at the end of the day. ACB, a stock I do not like. Read their reports on this one. I think it's terrifying. Maybe we'll do it on the stream. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. I also hate this weekly close. Massive shooting star. I know that you go back over and you say, oh, but it once was, Tom, 140 bucks. It's not going back there. This one's sick. I don't know what you guys think about ACB, but I feel like it's sick. I've done some reports on it. I don't like it that much. This level here has some interest for buying pressure, so maybe you'll do okay. Possibly up to these 18s again. That being said, I'm just not a fan. Down, above. Why is Polkadot going bananas? Says Sean. It's become kind of like people think it's going to overtake Ethereum. APHA up, no doubt. Yes, this is Afria. We're actually flat now. This is the one that's most likely to be up. TLRY 3.78. Possibly this runs a little bit into hype and anticipation ahead of the earnings. I would be more of the buy the rumor, kind of get rid of the fact on this one. K2 podcast says ACB is terrifying. I agree. The thing with weed stocks is that all of them burn tons of cash at the moment and they have to raise capital through shares like Sundial did. In Australia, the weed stocks that are big here are terrible. Terrible. One of them transferred, get this, 3.5 million. I've said this story before. 3.5 million to a random account. How do you do that? Mountain Fortress. Is it better to own TLRY or APHA for the merger? What's the meta? At the moment, the meta would be APHA. That's the general thing. I think targets for the upgrade yesterday was 25 from someone else. That's the general thought process though. Is it a good time to buy NEO and hold? I don't know much about the fundamentals on NEO. It's holding a range, sure, but not much more than that. Okay, I'm just getting some reports or some news in here that I want to share with you. It's coming from someone that's going to send it to me. I'm interested to see this. SCVX. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? So this one is trending at the moment. What's the community's thoughts on SCVX? Well, it's not actually trending at the moment, I don't think. So this is meant to be a cybersecurity SPAC. Let me quickly load it up. Whoa. It's changing the world. That's giving me epilepsy. Oh my God, these programs are terrible. Is this serious? This reminds me of like crypto in 2017. I can't get behind that. I'm sorry. I cannot get behind that. SCVX. Wow. Pete Udow says the only good weed stock I am long on is Hexo. Good long-term potential expanding to EU and US. Hexo. Okay. Well, SCVX is interesting. I heard the volume's up on this one. It is up and it continues to fail, and the volume's been up pretty consistently. Yeah, we'll watch it for later. I'm going to load up Hexo now. Hexo Corp. Let's have a look at this. Was part of the run on it as well. Let's go to the weekly. So another one that was about 30 bucks has come off a base of around $2. Market capitalization for this one is 1.11 billion. So it's about what, a fifth or fourth of TLRY. That's obviously a bad candle, but you have to discount it because of the pump dump nature of what happened. Sometimes this TA, you need to understand what it was. Very similar to ACB on that aspect. Structure formation break makes sense though, above the 5. $10 probably struggle with for some time.
I'll
and then
take
we'll
your
see what
entire
happens next.
stock.
Got a donation coming in here. Thank you very much. Live Slider, $5. Appreciate the donation. What's your thoughts on Dropbox? Okay, let's have a look at Dropbox. DBX. Okay, this was taking so long to get into. Oh, actually, this probably should have been on my watch list for a little while here. Nice. Thanks for the donation, but you've got me thinking. Now, what's my rules on random technology IPOs? Well, it's not random, but definitely technology IPOs generally. I do not like buying them other than to get in and get the hell out in the first week or two. Now, that's what's happened here with Dropbox. It then fell off, found some support, and then it's now testing the resistance. So it's clearly coming to a key point here for Dropbox. Let's load this through. Let's put the horizontal on the top here as well. Thanks again. We're over 1,000 people now on the stream. So welcome everybody. 1 hour, 2 minutes away from open, market open, not long now. Just looking at some stocks coming in here. I like the structure a lot. I like what it's trying to do. 25.48. I think that is worthwhile setting an alert for and thinking about. This is the type of structure that you look for. It's well thought out structure. It's been there for a long time. Only a real fundamental or purchasing event will get us through this area. 25.48. Nice. That's on the monthly as well. Let's go down the weekly, see what the price action's been like. Has had some breakouts, so the weekly is not going to be that strong for telling us exactly what we want to know. Daily's looking okay as well, finding a series of high lows coming in here. Very nice. And it meets my criteria of being on the market for around that 18 months, 2-year period. So that's very nice as well. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Not sure what everyone else thinks of it. Let's have a look what Dropbox gets here. Updates were too old on FinViz. I've got other software, but I don't have it here. Forward PE 23. I would want to probably, current PE 124. I'd probably want to have a look at their growth curves. I feel like there's not much moat on this business and there's a lot of competition. It's not a knock it out of the ballpark for me. GL Homer says DBX earnings tomorrow after market. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, we can see here Dropbox's earnings. That's why it's testing that resistance. It will have inflow into it if it knocks out the earnings. Probably have to wait for the earnings. I don't know if I'd want to call on this one. It could be like a Cisco where it comes up, hits the resistance, and then just busts down. Dr. Horton, if you're out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, interesting. All right, let's do pre-market here. Random spec stock stuff. Molecular, Churchill still up. AMC, Nokia, all of those things all down. Weed stocks down. TLRY 4.48. Nothing too much there. Go to the screener now. Let's have a look at what's going on with the bigger stocks. This is 23 billion plus. So my thoughts just to finish up there with Dropbox is if we break through that resistance on earnings, I don't know if I'd gamble on before earnings, but on earnings, there might be a trade in there that could be quite nice. There'll be the participation phase that we talk about on to the next level. Where's the resistance? 32.50-ish to the 35 zone. So there's a lot of structure resistance in that. Shopify now down 4.12. So it just shows that when we get a good result, theoretically, that it isn't enough for the market. It isn't enough anymore. That's how overpriced some of these stocks are. You could have things that beat expectations by an extreme level, and they're still not going to be enough. 4.14%. Fudu Holdings still down here. Baidu, Intuit, Roku down 1%. Interesting, because that's coming in now to earnings very soon. Tomorrow, in fact. Pre-market's not looking the best anymore. Microchip Tech, Palo Alto, Lowe's. Things have changed. Things have changed. Let's have a look here. US 500 now coming in at a 39.24. So it's hit our trend line. It's bouncing down. What's the US 100 doing? Okay, so the US 100 is putting pressure on the support straight away. Okay, we're getting interesting stuff here. Cool. Putting pressure on the support. K2 Podcast, $5. Thanks very much there. Very generous donation. Any thoughts on COTY? With 3 COTYs, directors combined purchase of 140K after hours yesterday. Well, that's very interesting there if they've purchased that much. Why did they purchase it? Is it because they had to in their contract? What was the main reason? Do we know, K2? Let us know. I will look at that in one moment. So thoughts today here, Nasdaq. We had this 13.7 support. That was the previous low. We've started to move into that pre-market here with less than an hour to go. That's very, very important critical zone. We closed below here. I've said it before, back down to the 13.6 relatively quickly. This probably also means Tesla's starting to put pressure on. Yeah, it is down 1.28, 786. All right, K2, let's have a look at this. COTY. Cotty. This is a consumer household personal care company. Okay. It's been a downward slope for many years. Purchase has happened. Trend line is absolutely in force here. Not the best trend line I've ever drawn, but there is certainly some trend line in force. Okay, let's go down to the monthly. Let's go to the weekly together here. $3 support. That's a bloody flag. Absolutely a flag. It's got the right close. It's got the right everything. I mean, if you were to give me this stock and say, hey, Tom, what do you think about this stock? And I didn't know everything about its history, or even if I did, if this was a currency, I mean, that's a dead set flag. Look how beautiful it looks. I just drew an art painting. It's called this flag. But yeah, this is a perfect flag. The pullback's correct. When you're looking at flags, the key to them is that you don't want them to pull back too much. Let's have a look. Get the fib retracement out here. Yeah, it didn't even come back to a 38.2. 2 moving averages behind it. Cool. This is what I'm talking about. Movement up to 12. It's proofing correctly. It's proofing correctly as well. We'll watch this today. What's the pre-market? I assume it's spastic. Oh, no, it's not. 7.26. Okay. Everything's making sense. Closed. Didn't get the high. I mean, you want to see this high and trend line snap, but you can see how much is going on right at this zone around the 8. Such a critical area for this one. Apple is down 130, 180 today, Pedrola says. Terrible day to have 10K in calls. It's a shame, Pedrola. It was on that trend line, but yeah, now it's down. So K2 podcast, getting a bit of, maybe I should watch the K2 podcast. Here's the flag though, $12. I like it. I don't know about the insider trading from the directors, but it actually technically makes a lot of sense. And that's a bit of schooling in a correct flag. We just need the break at the 8. I'd probably set an alert for up here just because I think there's enough profit in it, stop loss, etc., everything about the trade. But yeah, I'll watch that one. I'll pop it over here. I'll pop it over with the weird MIC-T thing that we found before. And what was this one? Oh, this is Walmart. It's not nothing. So AAPL's supposedly down quite a lot here in the pre-market. We thought that it could get down to the 130, The 130 is going to be the tester of the day or tester of this next pullback in the markets. This zone or area is important. If we get underneath there, not only have we broken the trend line, but now we're starting to break through a 00 at 130, and we continue to see potentially some decline. Apple's a good predictor of the market as well. So US 100 bounced off that 13,700 a little bit there. It's now 13,720.
I'll take your entire stock.
K2 podcast $5. Thank you very much, K2. Says thanks for taking a look. First time listener. Hopefully not the last time, man, K2. Appreciate it, man. Just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the stream, please remember to give it a like, subscribe if you guys like the intro, what we do here. Does help me out quite a lot. Keeps me motivated to stay up at 1:30 in the morning each morning for you guys. Definitely do prefer that. Thanks again, K2. No. For Ulises. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. EH, no, it's not. It looks horrible. It looks horrible. For people that are not sure what it is, it's this thing here. Look, I could be wrong and it could bounce, but this is the stuff that I have nightmares about. That's like the nightmare that I thought could happen last year in the pandemic, like just like an S&P just going psh, straight down. That's bad. I wouldn't, when I see that, I would not touch it at all. It's too terrifying. Pete Udow says POAI looking like a popper today. POAI. Predictive. Is this even in this trending? Let's have a look here. My most trending stocks. It is not one of them. $1.85 here on this stock. Check the daily out. It's had that nice retracement. Hit the $2. Found resistance. Now it's up 12.8%. Maybe it goes towards the $2 again. If it gets through the $2, next stop $2.50. Next stop $3, etc. This is on fire right now. 20 moving average has started to catch up with it as well, which could act as some dynamic support if the market was to pull back on this one. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it is forming some type of bullish movement into the open. It actually has no close on a significant time frame like a 4 hour. Let's have a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour 194, 4 hour never above the 187. So if we see 4 hour strength here at the 190, that's probably predicting a close there. It's predicting above 2. Sense been quite a requested stock. This one gone mental over the last couple of days, coming from very low. Got to be careful in all of these. We also know that it's not so much a pump and dump, but it did hit that resistance. I thought it would stop around 5. It's now trading 567 pre-market. Yesterday was 527. I don't know where this can go. For once, I have no idea. It's broken all resistance. Maybe every dollar, be careful. Hey, that's all I can say. Maybe every dollar. $6, $7, $8, obviously $10. Be incredibly careful if it got there. I'm sure you'd be very happy. But this one here is on the rocket ship. There's just nothing to say other than small moving averages like the 2 hour here, 20, or maybe a 1 hour or 4 hour, finding some dynamic support buying through it. That's all I can really offer you on that one. US 500 coming in at 39.28, US 100 13.720. I'll be looking at Tesla today to give me a bit of sentiment, and Apple. Tesla's trading at 787. Be careful at this zone. We mentioned it before. I'll mention it again. 4 hour bullish hammers here. Bullish hammer here, but rejections across the board. We close underneath that with any significant time frame like a 4 hour. I believe we could go to 700 on Tesla quite easily, and that might be a benefit for people wanting to buy the dip, but it could trigger selling. So just like the Nasdaq, if the Nasdaq gets under the 13.7, at the same time, you're probably going to see Tesla underneath this zone. Is SNDL dead? Yes, most likely. It's not dead. It's just dead from any pumping. incredibly hard to pump through $1 billion worth of new issues. Yeah, very, very hard to pump through that. Thanks again to the 1,000 people that are here watching the stream. 1,015 right now. Appreciate it. DX trading at 90.86. DX is going up. Yes, it is. The dollar index is certainly strengthening. It's actually trading at 99.6. So this is again bearish towards the market. How is this bulling up and the market is still 39.29? I don't know. This should be putting huge pressure on it. Gold also showing incredible signs of weakness. Look at gold. Still there. It's a little bit bullish from where it was, but the 1 hour just slapped through the 1784. Slapped it. So gold is a precursor. Similar to yesterday, we saw metals go. The market opened, then it started selling. This is worrying to me. When metals sell off like this, it's very unusual that the metals sell off like this and the market isn't selling as well. Silver still holding a 27 plus. Matt I says, Tom, could you please have a look at Matador MTDR? I guess we can. We've still got plenty of time here before the market open. 2038, 1 hour, strong kind of trend happening here. Straight into previous resistance and support. I think we looked at this one already, and I kind of said that, look, you're at a 20, you're at a point where previous supports were, resistances were. Is there a best case? Yeah, it goes to 22. Maybe it goes higher, but it's going to struggle around here. I just don't see how it would not make some form of structural play here. Even yesterday when it broke out, it didn't really hold it. It just instantly came back down. So you could say, oh, Tom, there was structure there and it broke through. Yeah, it's on support. Yes, the pre-market's up. It's a very tough point. I'd watch it carefully if you're going to hold it. Is there a reason SNDL is going down? Yes, because they issued more update. There it is. They took this as an advantage of issuing new shares. In fact, I was surprised that something like GameStop didn't do it. I was surprised a few people didn't do it. Unfortunately, this is the end of the pump, I would think. Dropbox analysis, dividend passive. Somebody actually donated for that before. Go back about half an hour in the stream. You're going to enjoy that one. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Time to load into SQQQQ. I think that's the backwards one. Thomas Donegan says. It's looking like weakness is coming here. 99.6 going towards the 9.1. Remember, people that are very bullish in the market have predicted pullbacks. We're not saying crashes, but pullbacks. Kathy Wood expects one. I'll not put myself in the same necessarily investment caliber as her, but I do certainly expect one. And it all comes down to that we are overdue, and the euphoria is like nothing I've personally seen from trading for 12 years. I've never seen trash stocks so pumped and dumped. I've never seen anything quite like what we're seeing euphoric. People feel incredibly bullish right now. There's a lot of money running through of course, cryptocurrencies, etc. Expect also if the stock market comes down over 5%, I would say Bitcoin drops as well at the same time. The correlation with the stock market dropping 5% and Bitcoin dropping is very high. Matt, I said I started buying MTDR when I was down $2. Wish I kept more. The thing is, though, you probably had a strategy, Matt. So we're watching the dollar index here because it's bulling into 91. And again, the US 500 is finding pressure, but not that much. US 100 coming down to the 13.7 now. Let's look at the pre-market again here for the screener. I bet you there's a few more reds now. Let's have a look here. A little bit more red. Shopify again leading the charge. Good technical earnings. Hey, it's a profitable company. Not good enough to meet the expectations. That thing ran right into earnings. Was completely in a breakout. Microchip, Wayfair, DoorDash, all of these types of ones only up now 2%, 1%. Before we saw Square up quite a lot. Also PayPal, they are not to be seen anymore in those ones. Pete Udow says, only problem is everyone is expecting a pullback. But are they, Pete? Are they? Ken says, do you ever give attention to the golden cross? Not particularly. I mean, I use the crosses, but I don't consider anything particularly strong there, Ken. I don't say, oh, this is the golden one, I like it, or this is, you know, whatever else there is. I understand that they've become well known, but for me, I go with what is the price action telling me about these moving averages. I won't just use a moving average and say, oh, the golden cross. I'm happy with that. I will instead use the price action to teach me, okay, we've got higher peaks, higher troughs, higher movement there. Thanks again to the 1,070 people who have come out today. Thanks for joining us. We're only about 45 minutes away from market open. Dollar index, again, is bulling hard. We do see pressure coming on. Look at this US 100, put the pressure on the 13.7. Tesla, one to watch today as well. I'm a bit scared if it gets underneath this 780, 770 zone and closes. This is because most likely this market structure, which is a channel effectively, will then extrapolate out and push us down to 700. Again, not saying anything more than that. That's where it is. Where's the first market pullbacks if we continue to get it? Daily 20. It's not that far away. Daily 20 is here. It's pretty normal so far to think the daily 20 should be hit. We had a big movement up. Why wouldn't we just get the daily 20 at least? We're just about to reach a bloody 14,000 here on the US 100. US 500, 4,000. Surely we get a pullback at least to the 20. Damien Joseph says, majority of people expect buying dip will always work. That's true. Technically it does. We do have the Fed though, and once they start pumping cash, regardless of how the Fed's doing it, whether it's truly supporting it, they've basically broken the system. We all know this, so they can't really stop it anymore. Silver now under 27. 13,698, 699. Dollar index above 91. This is incredibly bullish dollar index. Wow. I'm just surprised how out of the box this one went. It actually closed below here, signaling maybe some pressure down to the 90. I wouldn't have been surprised if it came off the 90, but it just went like 91 and then bang, and then that's all she wrote. We're now trading at 91, over 91 into the market. It's pretty big moves. Bitcoin's not really reacting to it yet. Was some selling pressure there, quickly followed by buying. XRP all around this zone. Now for people that are buying this coin, remember the SEC's all over this coin. There's actually a pretty good guy. I don't often give shout outs on YouTube, but I think he's a cool guy, and I don't like lawyers that much. And some lawyer dude on XRP. He's actually makes some okay videos where he reads their 90-page documents. If you're interested in this coin, possibly check him out. It's probably worthwhile doing. Pre-market, some things still up, some things down. Let's have a look at the futures screener here together. Johnny Lee says DXY pop equals bubble pop. Richard says, don't forget Fed's guns are almost run out. Agreed, Richard. They are almost out. It's just sentiment now. There are other guns they can use, but they're very detrimental. They shouldn't use them. I hope they don't anyway. That would be bad. They need to let the market be free, not be freaking ridiculous like it is. LTC says John Hannon. Yeah, why not? We can check that out. Thanks again, guys, by the way, for the donations tonight and people who've joined the community. Do appreciate that. Here we've got the pre-market. VIX is spiking a little bit. Let's actually have a look at VIX on the charts. Get rid of this. Let's look at the volatility index on the charts, and then we will look. There was a question about LiQWYD, I think. Okay, so VIX 21.8. Luckily, we got this one correct. 20 support, continuing to be kind of the catalyst for buying pressure on the VIX. And I know a few of you guys do trade that, so always worthwhile having it there. Have a question about Litecoin. Let's put LTC in here. See what's happening with Litecoin. Pretty strong, 224. We go back over the history. Hopefully this has enough history. See how high it got last time. In fact, it's actually going the body closes of that epic run. Now it got to 368, 367 kind of period. It's done a run before in 2019 and then crashed. It's well known for these. This is incredibly bullish candle though, getting through that rejection that went back down to 126. Go to the 4 hour here. Series of higher lows, not really like we've got a higher high, but the resistance. If you break the resistance, that will be strong. Look, it's not that great. It's good, but this looks just like every other coin right now. If it gets through here, yes, you go to 260, 280, those kind of levels. I remember they were a thing before in 17 when I was trading it. Pre-market on some things, TLRY is down 4.68. US market just got absolutely smashed. Let's have a look at what the community's saying. DAX is still going up slowly, is it? Is it? That's right, Midlands girl. If you're a beginner, you're always learning. I learned something new today. We always learn. If you ever stop learning, you're probably going to do pretty poorly. Just getting some comments coming in through there. I'm just having a look if any of them are worthwhile talking about. Let's have a look at also trending stocks. Most trended stocks of today are SOS, LODE, EH, dangerous, be careful, CCIV, eBond, CBAT, SHOP. Most active boards, pretty much from the SNDL, CCIV. SNDL, I do not believe will be able to come back from what has just happened. Red today, boys, says Max Rona. Thank you again for the 1,050 in here. Damien Joseph says, lol, such a long wait for the correction. That's why you should stay invested there if you can, Damien. If you stay invested, then you don't care too much. You just hold off cash. My kind of approach has always been, you've got two ideas. You dollar cost average, just continuously buying every single month or whatever, or you hold off and you buy dips with the rest of the money that you've got saved. So this market does look like it's coming in with a sell. For the US 500, it's all about this 39.20, and it looks like we're putting pressure on it. That was yesterday's daily low. We're going to open around there. We're about half an hour, 36 minutes till the open, so not long now. This is the low for the S&P 500 that we want to take out. Asian trading session did pull back, started consolidating, made small lower highs, and then now we're breaking through. Why do you use moving averages, says Art P. Oh, sorry, Darren. I will do can. I owe you that one. Pete Udall says, that sounds like a good short list of the ones I read out before. Pretty much is. Look at stock twits, man. You'll find them. Why do I use the moving averages? I use them because they're firstly incredibly heavily used. They also are the basis of quite a few indicators. So if you think about MACD, the indicator has moving averages in it. If you think about Bollinger Bands, the middle band is a 20 simple moving average. So I use them for that reason. If you're going to say which one's the best, the 20 simple moving average. It just seems to work. If you think about also a month of trade, how many days is that? About 20 days. So the 20 or 21 moving average actually converts into 1 month of the daily. That's why the daily is so good on stock markets. All of these things, if they make some logical sense, is good. Kyle Wyatt says, is Sundial going to make it up? I don't think so. They've just issued more shares. I'd read about that. Let's have a look at Can here. This was a stock that I said I'd look at. Now, is it this one? This one, I think. Up 1%. Yesterday, up 50.69. It's on a serious rocket ship, isn't it? Look at that. Wow, wow. What can you say? It hit $20. You'd think that's resistance. I would have to think selling pressure here. It's gapped. It's done heaps of gaps. It's had a beautiful run. It's hit 20. Psychological zone. Surely it finds selling pressure here. Obviously, you need to make your own decisions, but it did stop slightly before. I feel like this is a struggle town for it. There's not much else you can do TA on, Darren, other than it's just going mental. Did it stop at 10? Sure. Found some pressure and then moved through. But 20 is a very, very tough zone for it. Keep watching it. Possibly if your plan is maybe following it by a moving average, you could always do that. So we could just follow it through on the moving average. Here we've got a 15-minute 20. Just keep holding it through that zone. You'll notice it never got through the 50 anytime here. So if it gets through the 50, something wrong's happened. Weed stocks are not safe. Do not put much into weed stocks as Mountain Fortress. Weed stocks don't earn much money either. So they usually have to do capital raising. Thanks for all the subscriptions. They're probably a little bit delayed, but I do appreciate all of those. Might turn off the subscriptions one. I don't know why it constantly hits at some time in the night. But thank you very much for everyone that's been subscribing, liking the stream. All of that stuff helps a lot. All right, pre-market. Now that we've gone through, what's happening with Tesla here? 781. So an open and a close at the 781 will literally put Tesla underneath those last lows and put downward pressure on that structure range. All of a sudden, Tesla's going to be pushing all the way down to 700, I would feel. And that could be the catalyst that also gets the Nasdaq through. Did we already go over Tesla? Yeah, we certainly have done it a few times. The thought process is the 2 week purchases off 800, which, I don't blame anyone for having a go at. They were good little zones. These 800s constantly acting as buying pressure, wicks. Now that could still happen today. We could see a pull down, wick rejection. I think if that happens, maybe there's no close below. Yeah, I can't stop that damn subscription thing, but I do appreciate all the subscriptions. Let me just turn off the alert box for a second. I'll mute it off. There we go. Oh, wait. I do have a donation coming through. I better turn it back on. EL Capital $2. ZOM looks like we are moving. We will check that one in a second, EL. Thank you very much. I'll let that come through on the stream. Here's, the buying pressure on Tesla. So all these wicks show that there's a huge amount of bullish momentum. For me, the real season of Tesla was a series of lower highs coming off here, and the fact that we were finally making structure, something we very rarely do. Very rarely do. So buying pressure here is maybe thinning out, and we've got a close underneath potentially happening 781 in the pre-market, as I said. All right, we'll have a look at that, EL. I'll turn off these alerts for one moment. I'll turn it back on. There we go. That should fix it. Let's have a look at ZOM. Thanks very much for the $2 there, mate. I'm not sure what the movement is. I mean, we're up 3.8. If you're talking about that it was better than before, possibly. With this stock, our analysis was that we had support underneath this 220 kind of area, that we had a 15-minute downtrend that was happening here in terms of lower highs coming through. And what we were looking for is a trend line to be broken out of. So basically, if let's say we come down here, break out, retest, movement up. That's the type of thing I was hoping for. Dr. Horton says, lol, short Tesla when it makes structure. That's true, Doctor, because it never does, man. It never does. Since when have we ever seen Tesla form any type of structure other than just bull, 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 bull? So we're now 29 minutes away from the market open. We are lower from yesterday's closes, but we'll probably open right around those levels. So I expect the Nasdaq to be sitting around 13.7 on the open. S&P 500 will probably sit around 39.20. The story is, though, what are we seeing on the dollar index? Dollar index is strong up to the 91. Gold getting absolutely destroyed, down 1779. Very critical zone. Look at the weekly here, back down into the previous supports that we saw in November last year. And silver still holding the 27. So it does prove that silver actually has huge demand in it. When gold's getting belted like this and silver's still holding, that's almost amazing. That's a huge disparity forming there. So clearly there is a lot of bullish pressure in silver. In the next run of metals, I expect silver to do quite well. Where's the VIX? My platform's frozen. The VIX is 21.9 for me. Now your VIX may be slightly different, but it's 21.9 for me. Greg Burke says CVS seems boring, but it's handling the vaccine rollout. C was shorted by JP, and Wall Street bets have propped it up. It's going to take off. Maxa and copper. Let's have a look at this C. So this is up 0.5. Wowzers. Okay. It's not sure what the hell is going on with this one. But wowzers. Yeah, not too much structure on that one. Not super interested, but I do understand there's potential there. What software is Tom using? Paul says. I'm using TradingView here. Don't sleep on Mick T, says Badman. Hey, we checked that out. Where was that? Well, look at the volume. I'm not sleeping. Believe me. I looked at that and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. What is going on here? Crazy volume coming out of nowhere. Surely there's something up there. But like any of these, they're always a gamble. You got to be very, very careful. What was that other one that you said there, Greg? CVS. Oh, we can't close our McT. We have to have a look at that. By the way, if anyone wants to follow me, I make videos on TradingView as well. They're just like 1 minute. I talked about this ascending triangle today for Bitcoin. So if that's the kind of thing that interests you, definitely follow us there. Got 625 followers now, so I appreciate that. And come and join us over in that area. Okay, get this one up. Stock here, CVS. So just to recap for everyone coming in today, Sundial, for anyone out there, unfortunately is not good. They've got an issue on them. I do not expect them to be able to recover from that in terms of share price, unfortunately. We've also got the market finding support, 39.20 right on it. Basically going to test it to the bear side straight away. That's for the S&P 500. Bitcoin crashed or broke through 50,000. It's now trading well above 51,000, 51,147. This CVS stock here, $70. Let's have a look at the weekly. Okay, so it's had a nice run on it back in the day. Now it's in a massive range. We must have looked at this one before. We've got strong resistance through the 77. I don't think I'd really bother with it unless it got through that zone. We'd want to see it break through the 77 and then continue moving forward. It's going to have problems at 80 as well. Interesting. Pete Udow says Icon, check it out. All right. I assume it's not this. Which icon are you talking about? Probably this one. No, that is it. What is this? Another stock coming off a 62-cent base, now trading at 3. Was pumped. Now a little bit dumped. Let's go on the daily. Yeah, there's some structure. That's good. It's priming for trying to close out. I see why Pete likes it. So basically here you don't have any closes, no strength. The paper hands are real, guys, at this point. If we close above all of a sudden, then you're starting to see bullish pressure. We're actually up 2% in the pre-market here. So we're looking at 305 in the pre-market. Yeah, all right, we'll watch it. Check that over there. A few websites that you might like. If you don't know, unbiased stock, something like this is always good to check out. This lets you kind of like look through all of the things that are currently trending, people are looking at, etc. on all the websites. Yeah, it's a buyback. Mark M says, even the hype of WSB bets or Wall Street bets is dying out now. Agreed, Mark? Agreed. Achu says, great content. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks very much again to the donators, members, people that are watching this. You know, we're getting thousands, tens of thousands of people coming through each day. It's amazing. So I do appreciate that. Kevin N says, okay, we need a solid pullback so I can buy back in and then buy Ionic 5. Good luck. We do need a solid pullback. The question is, do we get it? US 100 now shorting off a little bit more. What's the dollar index doing? Dollar index back above the 91, 91.03. This is a pretty serious change for the dollar here. Pretty serious change. Don't know why I'm on a 3 hour. Let's go the 2 hour here. Look at this, 13,654. We're now only 22 minutes away from the open. Slam that like button. Get us up there, guys. Get us up for a few thousand people if we can. Thoughts on Disney, says Achu. Yeah, I like Disney a lot. It's probably one of my favorite. I was crapping on about it hard last year, about how great it was at 120 and 110. I believe in it a lot. I believe the growth looks really good. It's going to be boring now, though. A lot of that hyper growth is out because you've got they're going to be able to easily make a lot of money with Disney Plus. There's a lot of benefits for them, but yeah, the hyper growth where it went from 120 to 200-ish or 190, that's not usual for Disney. So I would say pullback may happen, but long term, it's a great hold. Boring though, from a percentage wise. You won't be getting an 80% out of it anytime soon. GS says here, maybe just set alarms for GME, AMC and wait till it's worth talking about. Yeah, look, AMC and GME, they're not going to be worth talking about until you get a close above at least a 55, if not 60 for GME. And we need a close. Like, we have to have a close. Otherwise, AMC, we're looking at a 650. Until it's above those zones, I'm not believing that the fanfare is back. The sentiment's been destroyed there. Kind of like today, we might be seeing some buy the dips here from people, but there'll also be a little bit of panic. Remember, how fast has your sentiment changed in the market? I know once my sentiment went from super bullish to bearish in 1 week. I mean, super bullish to bearish. I was like, yeah, everything's good. Then it pulled back, got past the 38.2 fib. Remember your feeling last year during that March pullback. Everything's good. Whoa, 7% down, circuit breaker. Oh my God, 10% down. Buy the dip. And then all of a sudden it happened again, and I'm sure you didn't feel so good. It can happen. Kevin says, soon Mickey Mouse will be president of the USA. That's possible. They are a giant conglomerate now. So S&P 500, the spot to watch was 39.20. We look at the SPX here. We go through the trend line. We knew that this would be some form of resistance. How far back, though, is the question. 20 moving average would only put us to 38.58. Possibly that's what we get today. Remember, when the market sells off, it tends to be relatively aggressive. Previous supports all the way through here. So this could be just all you get before the next move towards the 4,000. Seems kind of likely it's going to occur now, but you never know with this market. If it gets through that point, back to the 50, I'm actually looking for larger corrections to 3,600. That would be, in my opinion, a correct area. The November run was incredibly aggressive. It was great. It was excellent for a lot of people. But this is the zone or the area that I'm thinking is right. Oh, I drew it the wrong way. Don't draw your fibs the wrong way, hey? There we are. 50% fib pullback into that area where the previous resistance structure is. It looks exactly the same for the Nasdaq. So that's where the deep correction is if it happens. Otherwise, 20 and 50s will be worth watching. Possibly have plans for all of them. Thoughts on CCIV? We've done CCIV a few times. Spenno. My thoughts are that it's kind of struggling. If you, oh sorry, this is the one that's going towards 60. Thought it was PLTR. So CCIV, yeah, I think it could go to 60. Every $10 is going to be an incremental pressure sell point. I find it very scary, but if you like it, hey, you like it. $60, every 10 is going to be the pressure points. Didn't stop at 50 like I thought it would. I did think it would stop there, but you can't tell with those ones. All right. Literally only about over 15 minutes till we get in. Let's have a look at the watch list together now. So we've got the pre-market watch list here. Sundial down 14.61 is going to have a hard time. TLRY down 6.5%. Might buy a little bit up into the announcement, but be careful around the weed announcements and be careful around weed in general now with where it is. The rest down other than Churchill and molecular data. If we go to the bigger kind of stocks, 23 billion plus, this is the Webull pre-screener. Shopify down 5.56. It's not the earnings report that's bad. It's the price that was too much. Expect a pullback there, potentially down to 12.50. It broke out the last 2 weeks, got up to this 14.74 level. Now I'd expect some pullback. Moderna down 2.2. Tesla, of course, leading the charge. This could easily do a 5% day today to the downside if it can't hold that level. Roku 1.85% into earnings coming up as well. For earnings that you want to watch for the rest of the week, if you're new to the channel, these are the ones: Roku, Walmart, Dropbox. Dropbox, incredibly interesting. Should look at the patterns on that one. We had a donation before, appreciate that. Alerted us to Dropbox. It was a good level. Buy EH on the dip. I think you need to look at that just to give you an idea of what that stock is. If you're not sure, that is what it is. So it's up 10% pre-market, but this is absolutely terrifying. You want to look at a gamble? That is a gamble. Be very, very, very careful on this, in particular than anything else. It's very dangerous. But good luck. Where was it again? Let's load up our screener now. We'll switch on over. So let's load that up. Get ready for the live. Go 4 screen, I think. You have to just wait for me a sec. I've got to set all these up. Get dark on them all. Switch these across. Okay, so I think things that we want to watch today, I definitely want to watch Tesla, so I'll put Tesla down the bottom here. Tesla will be essential to watch. We'll check it out on the 15-minute candle to start off with. $7.78 now in the pre-market. Dollar index, we'll check that out on the 15-minute as well. We'll have that on the bottom right. D-Dog's more my kind of thing, so I'm just looking at that. Up here we will put the Nasdaq, and over here we'll put the S&P 500. And we'll set both of those up, get these a little bit larger for you as well. All right, here we go. So we're only 15 minutes away from the open now. We've got our setup screen. We still have time to do a few other things before the open. But today does look like it's going to be a down day at this stage. It's still the retail hour though. Anything can happen. Closes underneath the 39.20 will be the key for the S&P 500. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see it spike up to the 39.20 during the open or soon.
I'll take your entire stock!
All right, we're set up. Okay, so there's the US 100. That has closed some 5 minutes down below. We've got a donation coming in here from Live Slider, $5. Appreciate that very much there, Live Slider. He says, can we take a look? No probs on the Dropbox. Was wondering your thoughts on DraftKings. So DraftKings, another very popular stock last year. It's done a little bit of a decline. Oh, it's just gone up again. Let's have a look here. Thought it was still declined. It is not. So DraftKings had some very strong buying on it. I remember back here in October. I haven't looked at it recently. This was a nice breakout that occurred. So this was a beautiful one. Classic case as well. $77 coming in for $4. Thank you very much, Sandola, for the coffee. Haven't seen you in here yet. Good to have you here, man. So daily close here. As soon as that happened, you knew it was going to trigger buying. 2 week rejections, a week rejection here, 2 weeks rejections here, and then a close above. Beautiful purchasing. My thoughts are, if the market does return here, and let's say DraftKings gets back down to the 55, I could see buying pressure well in this area. We hit the resistances twice now, so it's possible we see selling pressure back into the 55, hit like a 50 moving average at the same point, and then go put pressure on it again. Third pressure here, especially if it forms market structure there, most likely will go up. Things are looking good, but I do think the pullback may be coming in. Great structure around the 55. Look at that. Every $5 increment is incredibly important on something like DraftKings. All right, 12 minutes now till the open. Not long. Graham Stevens says EHR autonomous drones. Does that mean they're worth that much though, Graham? Probably a little bit early, yeah, on the autonomous drones kind of thing.
I'll take your entire stock.
$7.77 coming in with $5 says Tom, great intro, very creative. Thank you very much, Sandola. Yes, the intro is pretty dodgy, but pretty funny. You guys want me to play the intro for anyone that hasn't seen it, or just leave it alone? Say yes or no if you want it in. Yes or no. I don't mind if you can't, if you don't want it. BTC, can we watch it? Yeah, we can watch BTC. We've got some minutes here before we go over to the market open. As we know, we're most likely not going to go too much lower, but we'll look at everything very, very soon. BTC 5106. The teller for me today, when I was looking at this, was the 1 hour chart. And I did this one on TradingView, so definitely watch us there. I basically said as soon as we got that 1 hour through, there was nice couple of buying candles that were going to come through. Bullish hammer here on the 1 hour, very strong as well.
I'll take your entire stock.
I would like to see slight close above here, and then that will signal a new high. Couple of donations coming in. A few people want to see the thing. All right, we'll play it for some hype. Mark M, $5. Thank you very much, Mark. I'm not sure if you asked for something, but appreciate it very much. Live Slider, $2, says thank you. No worries, Live Slider. You found some good ones. I like that Dropbox one. All right, let's get this this thing up and ready. 1 second to everybody. Just load it up. Oh. Okay, here we go. LTR, we'll look at it soon. Alright, I like that one. That's probably a good way to start the day. Can I put the mic up? It's actually on max. So I got this boom mic. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. This is actually a pretty good mic if anyone's looking at getting into stuff. This one's my recommended Rode something, or Shure SM7B on the Rode stick arm. It's actually pretty good. Focusrite for the other stuff. Not bad. Quite a few people do use that. So we're 9 minutes away here. Looks like the market has come down a little bit. Johnny Knoxville, good name. Love Johnny Knoxville. I mean, for some reason, Johnny Knoxville's been coming on my Facebook, and he just has all these videos about him skateboarding and stuff from Jackass. I don't know why, but good name there, Johnny. Let's get over to our 4 screener. This stock, again, I repeat, incredibly dangerous. Be careful there if you can.
I'll take your entire stock.
US 500 $39.14, $91 for DXY, and Tesla $7.78. I'll be looking at Tesla, Apple as leads today for the close. $7.77 coming in with $7. Says Tom, perhaps another clip from Planet of the Apes in 2021, a stock odyssey, a space odyssey. That's a good one, $7. Yeah, look, I'll chuck clips in. I think you get docked if you put over a couple of seconds in, though. So you got to be careful there with the evil YouTube audience. Unfortunately, that is what happens. Dollar index finding some weakness. Let's go over to the pre-market screener. What's happening? Not many greens left in the market here. Alibaba still showing. Graham, you'd be happy with that. Still showing a little bit of green on the 270. Shopify 5.36 down. The report is not bad. It's just, it needs more. Semiconductors, Roku now coming off as well. That might be some concerns over the Shopify result and what the market wants. Because remember, Roku will be doing its earnings soon. We're 7 minutes away from the open here. Remember, smash that like button if you're enjoying the stream. Definitely helps us. And hit the subscriber button as well. Helps us out. Way High Dude Man says, bam, looks... I'm not sure which one you're talking about there. I guess they're releasing a Jackass 4 movie now. He's made some like social account that he decided to make money from. So on the bottom left-hand side, we've got Tesla. We've got the S&P, the US 100 here. I'll put the, where is it? Put the label on it so you can see what they all are. And the DXY. This is probably what we'll go in with this morning. I think Tesla's the most important to me. Dollar index is finding some weakness here, but not much considering the big strength it's had. Retail shakeout. Yes, that's right. Brett Connolly. Aaron Price says, Tom, what do you think about the Russell 2000 small caps? I'm actually surprised heavily how much they've come back. So when you look at the Russell, we've got time. When you look at the Russell 2000 and you think about the epic run that it's been on recently, this is the euphoric kind of run. Now, let's have a look at the 1 month for the Russell. Do we have enough data back here? No. Let me go, just click on this one. All right, go weekly. All right. So this is actually what I would have expected. See how the Russell runs at the back leg of generally a bullish kind of cycle where people go for the big stocks. When I see this, to me, this makes the market look so bad. And I mean so bad. When I've never seen small caps run so early in a cycle. Generally, it's large caps. It's like hyperactive cycle. You've got large caps, then the large caps do it. Then you get the value stocks, the financials, the energy, what we're seeing now. But then you got a hyperactive back-end market that's going like this. This is unusual. I would generally expect it in the back end of kind of the bull phase. And it happened earlier than that. Gold, yeah, we've looked at gold a few times. 1782 is right around the support. Look at the weekly there. 1765, I think, is the full support for it. Anything under there, you're looking at a bit of a flash on gold, and I would expect it to be relatively brutal as well. Tesla still pushing lower. At the same time, we are getting a little bit of a pull up as the dollar index weakens. 4 minutes away from the open. Pete Udow says agree with that, probably regarding the Russell stuff. Yeah, Russell doesn't usually go this fast. Alfonso's getting crazy. He wants to hold the door. He's hodoring hardcore. Comp account says take a look at Artello Biosciences. I will put it down on my list. Tallow Bio.
I'll take your entire stock.
Oh, here's a question. Bad Mama Jamma 618, $2. Thank you very much. What would you get in on MICT? MICT's one that we've looked at today with the crazy volume. Well, basically it's around that zone, isn't it? 240 structure zone. This is the one with the crazy volume. I don't know what was going on there. It's going to open at pre-market 248. Was up yesterday, 258, went as high as 270. Is it all over? I don't understand how the volume played this way. But anyway, 240. Yeah, it's strange. 240. Good luck on it, though. It's a very gambly looking thing. Meowdy Partner says retail sales are at record high, inflation coming. Potentially, yes. Uh-oh, bioscience, says Kevin. Yeah, we've seen some biosciences today, haven't we? Dent 007 seems to like dent a lot. Litecoin breakout, we were looking at that before. So Litecoin's actually moving, what, broke above the 220? Aaron says thanks, no worries. So here we are, 2 minutes before the open. Dollar index now falling off a little bit. Gold kind of hovering around that 1780. Silver, actually, look, silver's so strong, guys. There is a problem in silver. 27.11. How is it this price and gold 1781? It's super bizarre. I understand silver's demand metal, but still. So everything floating around here for the pre-market open. We're only a minute away. I'm pretty actually ready for today. What's the old TLRY doing? Let me have a look here. TLRY down 7.88% in the pre-market. 31.90. Earnings for that today as well, so be careful. Sundial definitely knocked out. Can we take a look at ETH? We've looked at ETH quite a lot. The 20 moving average, I think, on the daily is interesting, or 4 hour, I can't remember which one. Silver is being manipulated, says Al Snapperton. So is gold, really. Here we go. Here we go, guys. 40 seconds till we get the market open. We'll load that little baby up over here on the right-hand side. ETH 1820. Yeah, that's right, Johnny. I think ETH is still undervalued in terms of Bitcoin. I wish everyone the best today. So does Jay Collar. Success to everyone here with the diamond hands. Appreciate that. Darren says market's opening down today. RIP. It's not all over yet. So here we go, guys. We've got downward pressure coming into the US 500. Get the rockets up, even though I don't think there's going to be rockets. 8 seconds to go. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding time. I don't have the bell on for some reason again. I'll get that back for next stream. All right, here we go. We're open. 39.11 on S&P. Tesla instantly into the sell here. 774. Starting to get crunched straight away. 771. This is, remember, a 15-minute chart. I do expect this to be all up and down. Nasdaq holding a 13,638. Let's have a look at the market in terms of pre-market opens. Percentage change. What do we got going on? What the hell's going on here? Shopify down 7%, down to 1370 straight away. Shows you why you got to be careful about those breakouts into the news. Little dirty trap by Wall Street. Roku 453. So it's kind of predicting now that maybe the earnings report won't be good enough to report the breakout. Take a look at Roku. You'll see what I mean. Tesla now getting up there with the 3. Let's have a look at the positives. Warren Buffett seems to be positive, not much else. Microchip tech, etc. Look at the crazy screener. What do we got going on here? Percentage changes so far. ZOM down pretty hard, 13%. Sendel down 11. Tilray down 8. I don't know how the hell Sendel isn't down more. People mustn't be reading it correctly. I bet you people buying the dip. That is not going to end well. Let's get out of here. So S&P, Tesla still getting bombed. S&P here 39.12. NMLO understands it is a uncut sheet of MTG. Yes, it is. It's just the Spark one, man. The one that everyone got when you purchased and then you didn't get any of your stuff. Ding, 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 says Sandola. Yep, we're open. BTC to the moon. Not sure if that one's happening just yet. We took a look at that before. Go back about 40 minutes and that'll be interesting. Supposedly BlackRock doubled their AMC. I think that was a little while ago. UDAO says stimulus checks and IRS tax returns on the way. I think that will boost the market in the short term. Whoa! Tesla just got off the chart, guys. Tesla just got off the chart. 763 here in Tesla. Did you see that? Just went bang. Stupid thing. Yeah, pressure is coming on here. I do believe this is a monumental time. Tesla could end at 700 or a 650 in terms of structure here. It's the first time we've seen Tesla hold and really create a zone. 39.10. Somehow the Nasdaq's recovering. I don't even know how that's possible with Tesla getting down like this, and I assume Apple's also down. Check out load. There we go. Run to zero, says Demeter. I'm not sure what that one is. If you're seeing a run to zero for Tesla, I don't think so. Yeah. CLPS halted. I'm not sure why. Let's have a look at TLRY 31.38 down 9. CL, what is it? PS. I don't know what that is. Halted with a open of 154%. Market capitalization on this very small, 77 million. That's why it allows for that huge pump. Go back to the markets though. Here they go, 39.07 now on the US. I mean, this is actually very small moves to what we're used to. It's just that I feel like every day has been a drain on the indices. The indices haven't been that interesting. It's just been specific stocks. Anyone short Tesla? I won't put my hand up. Yeah, maybe. There will be some people in there. S&P 39.05 now, and dollar index is still holding very strong from where it was. Silver 27 flat almost. Gold 1780. Bitcoin doesn't care. It's just sitting around 51,000 as the other coins start to join up with it. Let's just quickly click on this. Get the other coins. What's going on here? Nothing much. Binance coin having another move. Look at that. Binance coin's going to take out XRP soon. Let's have a look at some of the weird sleepers that we had before. We had this icon. Looks like it opened up 1.94%. This one here, which is the MICT, the random strange volume that came into it. Now it's testing that 240 when it's low, or 235 now it's sitting, but 240, 235, this structure here. It's testing it from the top down. I have no idea what caused this. We just saw the volume there. Be careful in those types of things. Tesla now finding some buy pressure. Nasdaq's actually moving up on the 15 minutes here. 5 minutes into the candles. Load up SPX now on the right hand side just to show the real market conditions rather than the futures. Better to do that. You get the real moving averages then as well. Charlie doesn't seem to like Elon very much. So some buying pressure coming in here with the dip of the retail hour. Maybe we test from the bottom to the upside, the 13.7 zone on the Nasdaq. We basically almost hit the day trading area straight away, that 13.6. But I do think there's more here based on what we've seen so far. What do I think about PLTR? Gone over it a few times. It's up 2.26%, 28.46. I think it's right around support right now. So I'm taking a hit indeed. Other things in the market that are taking a hit. All of these stocks. Sundial now down 17.5. We expected that to get a little bit worse. I think it gets worse and worse and worse for that stock, unfortunately. Percentages, Shopify still the worst. Roku also bad. Wonder where Dropbox is in this. Maybe it'll drop off. DocuSign, lots and lots and lots of stocks down. But they've been up recently, and the green ones are nothing that we usually look at. Amazon's slightly green there. 39.06 again. Nasdaq doesn't know what it wants to do. That's right, Pa. That's what I look like, yeah. Look like when I'm a bit dead tired in the morning. So it's 1:37 here in the morning. Pretty late. All right, well, the market open, basically, I think that we continue to see declines. Let's just quickly load one of the US 500s up into a larger screen. Get that one up through. This is Mick T doing 230, okay. Don't know what that volume is. I might have to research it after. So we're putting pressure on the 3900 straight away here. Is that enough of a pullback yet? I think for today, declines could be even more severe, possibly down to the 3867 previous resistances. This area acting as some form of support. Fibbing it, it's around that 38.2 as well. 23.6 could be an interesting zone. That's just underneath the 3900, 38.92. Looks like we're going to pressure all of those. Remember, keep in mind where the daily 20 is. So if we do see heavy pressure selling, this area, 38.60, 38.70 is a 20 moving average. Look at it on the SPX to get the right one, but this is where the bouncing may occur in terms of selling pressure. The trend line tends to sell off into that. Maybe it goes further, but that does seem to be the zone. Continue to watch that. All right, guys. Well, what I will do is I will probably have to leave you here. I've got a 9:30 appointment meeting, so unfortunately 1:38 a.m. is a little bit late for me. Thank you so much for joining us on Wednesday stock market analysis, live market analysis. We will be coming back to do more. I'll be doing more with you guys tomorrow, so don't worry, I'll be here. Tomorrow night, Friday night, I had no plans on changing any of that stuff. I'll be here to look at the markets, but yeah, tomorrow, too early for me to keep staying on. Thanks so much for following. Thanks so much for subscribing. The donations, appreciate it all. And we'll see you tomorrow with, of course, another probably daily update video, and we'll be doing the live sessions. Thanks so much, guys. Sorry, Pa, man. Can't do it. 9:30. It's not too easy. $77, $5 says keep it up. Thanks so much, Sandollar. Appreciate it. Thanks for the donations, man. You're always massive support in the channel. Appreciate it, man. And thanks to all the mods.